Split happens event in NFL news today. The NFL has officially suspended former Ravens kicker Justin Tucker without pay for the first 10 weeks of the 2025 NFL season for violations of the NFL's personal conduct policy after multiple accusations of sexual harassment that led to his release from the Ravens. He is eligible to be reinstated on November 11th. Also, the Bucs announced that they extended head coach Todd Bowles and general manager Jason Licht today following the most successful 5-year stretch in franchise history. Tennessee baseball picked up another transfer portal commitment today, this time from Rice two-way freshman Blaine Brown, who was a unanimous freshman All-American and an All-AAC pick as the designated hitter after hitting .292 with 10 homers and 38 RBIs. He also pitches, but only appeared in 7 games, including a start against the Vols. Tonight, the 2025 NBA Draft continues with the second round, beginning at 7 p.m. as the Minnesota Timberwolves are on the clock to start day 2. For our financial repair and whatever needs you need to visit USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Titans and Vols. This is 104.5 The Zone.
HL 104.5 The Zone, Thursday edition. Bridge already with you on a beautiful day in Music City. Out and about in Cool Springs. Kings Bowl, that's where we are. Split happens. Bowling Bash, benefiting HomeStreetHome.org. Kings Bowling in Cool Springs, that's where we are. Don Davenport is on assignment. Slay Dog is here.
Right. Hey,
there you are.
I'm in a building. That's 3 times for you people. Yeah. Thank you, Curb Stir. I am in the building, people, and the devil is sitting on the corner. Once you pull up to Kings Bowl, ignore him. Just keep coming on in. It's cooler in here, I promise you.
One more sleep.
Oh, yeah. We can get this on. We can get this rock and rolling.
Until knee replacement.
Yeah. Done deal.
Happy for you.
I'm happy for me, too.
You made it here.
I am at the finish line. About to cross. Going down.
How you feeling?
Ready to roll. Locked and loaded.
That's where you are?
I am. I absolutely am. Get it all done. Get it over with. Let's get on the horse for recovery. As St. Thomas Surgery Center texts me.
Coming up at 3:20 guest-wise today, 3:20, Penny Collins over at TSU. He's got the Deserve to Win Celebrity All-Star Game coming up on June 29th.
Yeah, man.
And
No, 27th. Is it 29th?
Sorry. Is that not right?
Yeah, it's last year.
Oh, that's last year?
Yeah, it's coming up tomorrow.
Coming up tomorrow, okay. Like I said,
this was my problem. He always used to have it on my birthday, and I could never participate.
Which is
June 29th.
29th, the Sunday.
Yeah.
It's your birthday. Happy birthday,
This time I can't participate because of bodily function problems.
June 27, 2025. There you go. Because of what? Bodily functions.
Yeah, one of my bodily functions is not working. Not functioning.
Is that how you are calling this? Bodily functions? Not
it's actually great.
Yeah, June 27th. That is tomorrow.
Just not able to operate.
He'll tell you all about it. Are you going to be involved on any level at all?
Yeah.
I know you were trying to pull in the back door, and I was like, I
may be pulling in the back door to host. I have a party that night at Cavalli's. Me and Penny's supposed to be hosting it, so I may be anesthesed up. A cooler on my knee.
Which would be the best MC event ever.
You know what I'm saying?
I've seen you work the MC event here at Split Happens, where Coach Mack literally had to take the mic from you.
Yeah, then I took it back. Then he told the guy, just turn it off altogether. First he asked him, why'd you give him the mic back? And then he said, he was bigger than me, Coach Mack. Coach Mack said, I told you to not give him that mic.
Yeah.
And then he told Coach Mack where the power surge was and Party was over.
I know our friend.
My shirt was off at the time, too, y'all.
Of course it was. You did have the Ike Turner going, though.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Got to have him on. It's not a party without Ike.
I know that Isaiah Victor is involved in this.
Yeah, man.
Our friend from Tennessee.
Yeah, Big Zeke will be involved. Penny's done a terrific job of bringing people back together. Rob Covington has been involved. You got some comedians involved, local artists, producers, former players. Like he's got a good mix. Former pros that's from the area, people from outside the area. He got a good mix of what's going on. I think this is the fourth, maybe the third or fourth year.
Maybe four.
Might be four.
I think he's going into year 4, right?
Yeah. No, I think we're gonna find out. How about that? We ain't got to do no assuming.
Yeah, Penny Collins will join us at 3:20, and he'll give you all the information that we're trying to give you and can't. That's what'll happen. 4:20, Greg Cosell. We're going to talk about the wide receiver room with the Tennessee Titans, as well as the tight end position. And we'll do that at 4:20 with Greg Cosell. 5:20, Big Savagery, Raone Foster. Ramon and Will, weekday mornings from 6 to 10 on 104.5 The Zone. That'll happen. NBA draft last night.
Yeah, man.
Remember last year, I was like, man, the NBA draft like drives me crazy because there are all the trades and all that stuff, and they didn't really have any trades last year.
Right.
10.
Yeah, this year.
10.
Yeah, they went on and got busy.
10 first-round picks involved in a trade this year. I actually texted you when the Rockets took Maluach from Duke, and then quickly got traded to Phoenix.
Fast.
I was like, Houston trying to be a player, Slay.
Yep.
And then you waited for a second, and then you responded with the laughing emoji.
Like, no, man.
Cedric Coward from Portland to Memphis, pick number 11. Number 13, Derek Queen, Atlanta to New Orleans. Number 16, Hassan Yang. That was the big surprise, Memphis to Portland. He was projected 30th by ESPN.com. He went 16th. Walter Clayton Jr., 18, went from Washington to Utah. Will Riley, Utah to Washington. Drake Powell, Atlanta to Brooklyn. Asa Newell from Georgia, New Orleans to Atlanta. Nikkei Clifford from Oklahoma City to Sacramento. And Liam McNeely from UConn, Phoenix to Charlotte. So 10 trades in the first round.
Good job on them names, Jordan.
What did you think about the first round?
I thought it. And as far as surprises goes, no real big surprises.
Ace Bailey was surprised that he went to Utah at 5.
Yeah, he was surprised. Yeah, I knew something like that was going to happen. Like a lot, we talked about him not working out. I think Zeph asked the question, what you think about him not working out? Would it affect him? No. Like when you got talent and they've watched you for this long, it'd be different if it was a 4-year span that he spent in college. He came straight from high school, being who he is with the high upside, showed the flashes in college, and I expected him to be there.
In the Jazz, one of the teams where he was publicly I do not want to go there.
He did not work out for them. They requested a workout. He did not do it. He was trying to slip, honestly, to get to better teams.
Yeah.
Is kind of what the storyline was, but so that is why he was kind of surprised.
It was them and the Hornets were the two that he publicly was like, we're not going there.
Yeah.
And then he ended up at the Jazz anyways.
When they like you, they like you. That's why they always say it just takes one.
I saw someone take his photo up with Adam Silver at the podium, and he's just straight faced, no smile. Like this is the best day of your life. You're going pro, and he's just up there like, damn.
It is different, man. It is different, but. That was the one that was kind of not surprising, but because the man can play, Cedric Coward. For him to go the route that he did, then get to Washington State, then only play a handful of games.
Yeah.
Still get drafted
number
lottery,
11.
dude. Like that's all right, man. That was pretty impressive. But he's a dog. He can play. That's the only one that probably jumps out. Jeremiah Fields, we talked about him and Trey Johnson. Both of them going to be dogs.
Did you see online that they were talking about, I don't know if it'll end up this way, but they were talking about him being number 0. And it was
Fears.
And it was 0 Fears.
That's the
I thought that
coolest
was so
jersey
cool.
that is going to be in the NBA.
Yeah, if that's true. That's so cool.
He all right, man. Well thought out kid. Listen to the coaches talk about him. I never forget, man, catching Mike White, coach of University of Georgia, after the SEC tournament, after Oklahoma had just beat them in the tournament. And Mike White said, man, it's it wasn't nothing we could do. Like, we sent different coverages at him. He was a lot more stronger than we thought he was. Him getting to the basket and being able to finish the way he was. Like, and that's a guy coming from a basketball family and Mike White, knowing what it looks like. And he's like, yeah, he's him. And him being able to knock down that jumper is going to be key. He'll play, man. Jeremiah Fields is a player. Trey Johnson is a player. This was actually a really good draft, top to bottom, honestly.
Yeah. VJ Edgecombe from Baylor. Is he the guy? Or hang on.
Freaking athlete.
Igor Demon from BYU. Demeen?
So I didn't get a good eye on him all year.
He's only played basketball for 6 years.
That's probably why.
Yeah, I mean, only played basketball for 6 years. He goes number 8 overall.
That's insane.
It is.
I think that's the guy.
Probably so.
Yeah, there was one of the dude. It wasn't Edgecombe. I think it was.
Edgecombe was a baller.
Edgecombe was the one who had the we have the audio. We can play it later. Had the really cool story about his upbringing with his mom and stuff. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, that was really good. And then some more audio. We've got Aaron Wiggins later from the NBA champs, the Oklahoma City Thunder, delivering a great speech at the celebration about what it means to make the journey to champion.
Yeah, pretty dope.
Was really good. We'll play it a little bit later. 615-737-1045. Split happens. That's where we are here at Kings Bowl in Cool Springs. Special guests and listeners tonight at Kings Bowling in Cool Springs. Join us for a night of bowling with food, drinks, and more to help benefit Home Street Home, which is a great organization. Our guy Stephen Young was homeless and fought his way out of the streets, and so he knows how to communicate messages with our homeless community. Because I was surprised to know this, but a lot of those guys and gals, they feel comfortable in their situation, so it's actually kind of challenging to get them out of that. Even when you have opportunities. So Stephen Young has been there and done that.
Right.
So he's able to express that message to them. They write on their website, our job is not to judge. Our job is not to figure out if someone deserves something. Our job is to lift the fallen, restore the broken, and heal the hurting. And we love doing it.
That's dope.
HomeStreetHomeTN.org. You can find out more information there. So we've got a lot going on. We've got the NBA draft. Round 2 is tonight, 7 o'clock on ESPN, and Chaz Lanier is going to go.
Absolutely. He absolutely is going to go, man. Beautiful to watch his journey. He's going to have a story to tell, man, once it's all said and done. And then you also understand that he's always been the guy to have to work a little bit harder. And this is another opportunity, and I think he's looking at it as an opportunity. He had to get together last night with family and friends, and gonna continue tonight. But him being drafted, man, is gonna be huge. That's a surreal moment. Like a kid from the city that born and raised here, came up through the ranks all the way here, worked his way up. If you look at a picture from his freshman year of high school compared to now, it's two totally different people. So it can hit when it hits. You just got to be able to put the work in, and Chaz is a true testament to that, man. It's
you saw it in
dope.
him a long time ago, and you've been there for his ride.
It's going to be dope, man.
Along the way, and I know he appreciates that for sure. Chaz Lanier is set to make Tennessee history tonight in the NBA draft. When Lanier is picked, Tennessee will have had a player picked in 5 straight NBA drafts for the first time since the NBA draft moved to a 2-round draft in 1989. That's a stat.
Yes, it is.
A testament to what Rick Barnes has got going, and the sales pitch he has, and he coaches from a tough spot.
Yeah.
Like, he's a tough coach.
Yep. And these NBA coaches know it too, though.
Right. And in today's world, like, a lot of kids don't gravitate toward that.
Right.
Like, the ones that do want it, and they want to be coached, and they want to be the best that they can. And speaking of, Dalton Knecht mentioned in a possible trade with the Miami Heat, the Lakers and the Miami Heat reportedly finalizing a deal to send Andrew Wiggins to L.A. in exchange for Rui Hachimura and Dalton Knecht. So we'll see if that gets done.
That's
funny because when the NBA draft,
that'd be a cool spot for him too, though.
You think so?
Man,
yeah. I was going to ask you that, which is why I brought it up. But when the NBA draft comes, like so many of these stories pop. They don't always happen.
Yeah.
But that is one story that's out there.
Mm-hmm. That'll be interesting to watch. Like that's fit for him. The way he works, that blue collar type, prove it attitude. That's Miami culture all day long.
Penny Collins, TSU basketball coach, coming up next. We'll talk about TSU basketball and a big event he's got coming up tomorrow. 3HL 104.5 The Zone, broadcasting live from Split Happens Bowling Bash, benefiting Home Street Home at Kings Bowling in Cool Springs. We'll be right back on 104.5 The Zone. Want to tell you about my friends at United Structural Systems. You can check them out online right now, USSTN.com. If you've got foundation repair issues or waterproofing needs issues there, these are your guys. United Structural Systems, a foundation repair and waterproofing company that has served the Middle Tennessee area since 1994. Foundation repair issues, if you have noticed some things because it's hot and dry, maybe you notice soil cracking, pulling away from your home, leaving holes or gaps next to the foundation. Are your bricks cracking, walls bowing, doors or windows sticking, drywall separating? These are signs of possible foundation issue. Your house may be trying to tell you something. USSTN.com. When it comes to large home repairs, a lot of times homeowners pretend you don't see the warning signs. You're afraid of what you are going to hear. This is especially true with waterproofing and foundation repair. Could be something big that needs to be fixed. It could be something small now that could become bigger, or it could be nothing. Bottom line is you don't know what you don't know. And USSTN.com, these guys, United Structural Systems, will be able to tell you and help you out. Over 30,000 100% satisfied residential customers. These are your guys. Homeowners trust USS, keeping homes dry and stable. We guarantee our best. Call USS 615-488-7855. Check them out online, USSTN.com. USS serving Middle Tennessee, Southern Kentucky, and Western Kentucky. Again, online, USSTN.com.
What's happening, y'all? Time is of the essence until it's not. When you throw those keys to, that 14, 15, 16-year-old, the one out there that just got the permit to be able to go out there and drive a little bit, maybe just go to school. Accidents happen. They pop up. What are you going to do? You can't be there for everything. You can't be the protector, but you can have somebody there to fight for you, which is like protecting. Car accidents happen all the time. Bart Durham Injury Law is who you need to have on deck, ready to call. 615-242-9000. That's for your kids out there. That's for these teenagers out there, the young adults that are just still up under your insurance and you trying to figure out, how am I going to make it happen? That's what Blair Dorman and his team, they've been fighting for folks in Tennessee for years, making sure insurance companies pay up. No upfront costs, no waiting around, just real people making sure you get what you deserve. Bart Durham Injury Law is real simple. Here 24/7, ready to fight for you. 615-242-9000, BDIL.
104.5 The Zone. Split happens. Bowling Bash. This is Buck Rising's event, Slay. Do you anticipate him being here?
What time does the event officially start?
Oh, that's a great question.
Because
do we know the answer to that question?
Yeah, that's what time I expect him to be here.
Is it on your sheet?
Nope.
Oh.
No, it is not.
Kirby says 6.
He'll be at 6:01.
Is this Buck's event this year?
This is Buck's event.
I mean, it usually
was last year, too.
Was it? I thought I didn't know if it was because last year was for his birthday.
Was it?
Yeah, it was just like it coincided with his birthday, but it's not his birthday this year. So I don't know.
Dave, is Buck going to be here? No.
Well, that's good answer.
Buck has A to Z prime time tonight, so he has a show going on.
Okay.
So who's filling in for him?
Thank
then?
you, Ross.
You got to have somebody fill in.
Us, I guess.
Oh, no.
Are you bowling?
I can't.
But is he? No, he's gonna use a little dinosaur. He's gonna use a little dinosaur. The little dinosaur thing.
I really could see Slay trying to do it. I
could hop. I got one hop in me.
See? I told you.
You're gonna
be
break.
weird.
You're gonna.
Not as an athlete. You never say those stuff.
No. I'm saying you're going to step on the line and you're going to like slip.
Oh, okay. And then what? What, Zell?
And then
you
you're
gonna be like
embarrassed.
Babs?
You're going to be embarrassed.
Right, thank you.
No, I'm not going to do that.
Hocus pocus.
She hocus pocus, dude.
I really don't anticipate Slay being embarrassed by anything.
It's going to be rough.
Ever.
It's going to be tough, too.
It would be tough, yes.
Yeah.
But I don't anticipate you being embarrassed by anything.
No.
Also,
my embarrassment was long ago.
Also, if you're hopping on one leg and trying to bowl, you're going to like throw the ball and break something.
No, you got to have coordination.
No, dude, athlete.
You got to be an athlete. Yeah, come on, Zell. You got to give more credit.
On one leg?
Yeah, you got to be more credit than that, man. You know they got Paralympics bowling in there, man.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Did they only have one leg?
They may have one arm.
Well, you can bowl with one arm.
Brian Penny Collins joins us now, TSU basketball coach. Penny, Slay's an athlete. He can get this done, right? And he's getting knee replacement surgery tomorrow, if you didn't know that.
Yeah, I knew about it. He was trying to dodge the celebrity game. I get it. But look, y'all on here talking about Buck Riesling, and I'm over here focused on the real Cashville, Young Buck. That's what I'm be talking about.
Young Buck.
Yeah,
that's the only Buck I recognize.
Wow. That's what I'm talking about, Penny.
Wow.
Rep your city, baby. That's one thing we can always get from our guy, Penny Collins, man. Repping his city.
Right, but you're going Young Buck over Buck Rising. You're talking about two Nashville guys.
Yeah, we definitely choose a Buck. David Brown over Buck Rising. Ain't no question no.
Here's the thing, Penny, at the basketball game tomorrow, Slay could show up and just like wave the crutches down low and play defense.
Oh, no question. The SEC Player of the Year, he do whatever he wants to do. That's what he wants to do. We got him.
How important is this event to you, man? It's such a cool thing.
Yeah, man, it's the 4th annual game. Bringing awareness to the legendary TSU basketball program and the school, and just getting everybody in the city together. And what a time right now! If you're immersed in the culture of Nashville, especially the culture of athletics and hip hop and the inner city, you know that we've been getting discredited, haven't we, Slay? Of not being together in the city of Nashville. Mm-hmm. And so, what a better opportunity for a deserved to win weekend to be coming at the time right now. And for everybody to come together and support the program. And everybody who's anybody is going to be a part of this event this weekend, and we're so excited.
See, that right there, Penny, is understanding exactly what's going on around you, and you hit it on the head. This is an opportunity that I think, man, you gotta have things that kind of light the fire at times, and whether it be Memphis versus Nashville, Nashville versus Oakland, Nashville versus Chicago, whatever it is, whatever we need to get us riding together, we will accept that, and you are spearheading that with this event that was started way before. But, man, tell me, Penny, why do you deserve to win? I hear you asking that question to a lot of guys, man. Why do you deserve to win is what I would want to know.
Man, I'm just an unbelievably great person. I try to treat everybody the right way, whether it's the president of the institution or the janitor that's cleaning up our locker room every day. I think that's the key to life, is treating people the right way. And if you can treat people the right way and do things the right way, you'll deserve to win in life. You'll be a good person. You'll be able to make it and be able to walk into any door, whether it's the highest of royalty or living outside with homeless people. I can be able to move in any kind of world and be really safe and successful no matter where I am. So I feel like I deserve to win. no matter what we're doing. So it just happens to be basketball in this case.
Absolutely.
Well, you played at Belmont for Rick Byrd. I'm curious, like, what did you learn from him, and what do you keep in your head and in your heart and in your soul moving forward with regard to what you learned from Rick Byrd?
Well, he's an unbelievable person as well. He was able to continue to mold me as a young man into who I am today. He had a lot of impact on me as a coach in terms of, non-negotiables, how to handle yourself, how to handle yourself off the floor, how to win, how to practice habits. He's just an unbelievable coach, man. The other places that I've been and played as a professional, I knew how great of a coach I had in Rick Byrd when I left him, and to see the legacy that went on even after I left. And he's now 900 wins later. He's one of the best coaches ever coached the game.
How challenging was it for y'all to make that jump to Division I? And you guys made the NCAA tournament. You were on that team the first time Belmont made that tournament. How challenging was that?
Well, I wasn't a part of those first couple years. They had
right.
They struggled. When they moved from NAIA to Division I. I want to say Coach Byrd had 5 or 6 years of losing seasons, and then he got a great recruiting class in. He brought in a local talent like Adam Son. He was a senior when I was a freshman, and my freshman year we ended up breaking some walls down. We won a regular season championship. Sophomore year, went to the NIT, and it was just a gradual thing. We just got a little bit better and better. And by senior year, we were able to get to the NCAA tournament. But I do remember going into schools, because back then, Central Florida, who's in the ACC now, whatever conference they're in, they change conference every year. But Big 12, whatever. They were in the A-Sun back then. Georgia State, Troy University, Florida Atlantic. These are big-time programs, and they were all in the Atlantic Sun. And, they had triple R budget, and their players looked triple R size. But we would go into those programs and we would win. We would beat them in their gym and beat them at home, and they gave us confidence. So when it was time for us to get to that tournament, we felt like we deserved it. We felt like we had earned it because we had been through the fire. It was definitely a process. And, Belmont was a national powerhouse in NAIA, so it's not like this. Yeah. They were not used to winning, but in the Division I level, it was definitely it feels good to know I was a part of that first program to go to the NCAA tournament and captain of that team. That's something that I'll always hold dear to my heart.
Penny, you also have, man, a lot going on other than just the game this weekend. Yep. Hit on a little bit of that and how people can get in touch with you, getting tickets, or where they need to go to. I know they can go to your page on social media, Tennessee State's page. How else can everybody get involved to get these tickets? After parties that's going on. You got things going on Saturday. Talk about the weekend. This is not just a 3-hour event. This is a weekend event.
Yeah, it actually starts today. We have a really good fundraising event that we got going on today that we really, speaking to people about the program and just kind of giving them a update on what's going on. That starts today. Tomorrow we have the celebrity game, and we have a lot of different youth organizations coming to the event, performing. We got performers, young youth performers of the city coming out. We got even artists, hip-hop artists are performing at the event. So it's an opportunity for everybody just to display their talents. The game is almost secondary to all the fun that's surrounded around the game. Saturday night we're going to host an event for the celebrities playing in the game at Cavalli's Lounge. I'm pretty sure you know what that is, Slay.
You better believe it right there, 123 Ewing Drive, people. Let's go.
Yes, sir. So we're hosting an event for them. And then on Saturday, we're having an event at Sunset, another location that's owned by TSU graduate Robert Higgins. And that's going to be more of a dress to impress event. People are going to be in their blazers and their suits, and everybody's going to be having on blue. It's going to be a blue themed party. So it's just a weekend. We want to call it eventually be the homecoming of the summer for TSU alumni to come back and support. But also it's all about Nashville. We want to shine the light on our city and let our local celebrities get the flowers they deserve. I got to name drop my boy Kwani Cash. I'm so excited about him. He's going to be a honorary guest coach for Team Music City. Our legends like Dante Jones. These guys they deserve their flowers. I don't care if it's every summer. They always a part of this event. We want these guys to understand how important they are to our city And what better place and what better venue to do it right here at Tennessee State.
Absolutely, man. And it continues to move in that direction, having the good energy. You got people like Fridge involved, who is doing great movements as far as the community goes, man. You talked about Young Buck. Man, I'll tell you one thing, man. Penny, I told people that maybe you were trying to duck me because you used to always have this on my birthday on June 29th. You know what I mean? And I'm like, no, I'm out of town. I already got something planned, or my wife got something planned. This time, hey, man, I got to have this knee replacement, but I promise you, my impact will be felt somehow, some way. And then next year, hey, man, I want to be on board when we start in January. We're going to start basketball season. You know what I mean? Getting this thing going, man. So I'm fully involved, fully invested with my guy, man. So who is somebody, Penny, that you that's helped you navigate this road as far as this community giving back, the coaching that you've done at TSU, being able just to, you know, it's a lot going on with the transfer portal and things of that nature. Who do you lean on, man?
Man, honestly, I'm leaning on myself, my staff. You know, it's a new world. It's the wild, wild west, is what I call it. NIL, transfer portal, it is crazy. Like, it's hard to have sustainability, which I'm excited about with our team next year. You know, I don't want to talk about that too much, but we got 10 returners, which is just unbelievable.
That is crazy. Yeah. How in the hell did you do that?
Man, look, I guess some of these guys actually do like me. So, and we had a good year last year. You know, we finished third, and we was a shot away from getting to the championship game. So, these guys are gonna have a chip on their shoulder going into next season. But you know, obviously, I have my mentors like my father. You know, I got my parents. They they keep me grounded. And but I do want to just make sure that I'm very clear. I deserve to win is something that should go on for the rest of the time that Tennessee State's alive. Like this is an event that should always happen every summer. And Nashville, we are a special place. Obviously, look how many people are moving here. Yeah, that's right. It's a phenomenal city, and we're the only public school. We're the only public university. We saw the great news that we're getting some money for our university. We're excited about that.
Right.
We're also in a place where our athletic department, we're really thriving. Shout out to all of our athletic department and Dr. Mickey Allen. They're doing a great job. And but the city of Nashville, we are special. We have special talents, not just in the athletic world, but in the world of arts, in the world of performers and hip hop stars and movie stars. And I mean, whatever you think we have it. But we just got to do a better job of coming together the same way other cities do and controlling what we have. You know, we got the best baseball player in Mookie Betts. I think we got the best defensive back in the NFL in Jalen Ramsey. I feel like we have one of the best young upper stars in Brandon Miller, James Wiseman, and Darius Garland in the NBA. Like, we cover almost everything there is to cover. And I know I'm missing some other stars, but, like, there's nothing that we can't do. You know, so this event is an event where you're going to walk in here and you're going to see all those people I just named. You might see all those guys sitting courtside. The Titans are going to be at this event. Mayor O'Connell was at the event last year. This is just a great place, family fun. It's for all people to come, and it's just going to continue to grow and get better and better every year.
Yep, celebrity game coming up tomorrow. Team 615, Team Music City. 615-963-7968 for ticket information or contact Gentry Center Ticket Office. You've got DRC, you've got Dante Jones, you've got Isaiah Victor, you've got all kinds of people. You were talking about last year's team, man, and top three finishes in two of the last three seasons for you and your players. Last year, we talked with you toward the end of that regular season run, but 11-4 in your last 15 games, and you mentioned came down to the last shot. You guys had the ball, didn't get what you wanted, but still just an unbelievable opportunity for you guys. What was key down the stretch for you guys and your team buying in?
Yeah, that's a great question. But to fully answer that question, let me ask you a question, Slay. Oklahoma City Thunder won the championship, right?
Absolutely. Yep.
Who were their two best players?
SGA and Jalen Williams.
All right, SGA and Jalen Williams. How good do you think they would have been if neither one of those guys played?
Oh, that would have been tough. That would have been tough. They never would have been to that platform.
We know where you're going here, Coach.
If your best two players don't even play, they would. I don't even think that team makes the playoffs.
No, they don't. Not in the West.
And so I would, not to toot my own horn or my staff or my program, but we played last year. My best player tore his ACL right before the season started.
Yep.
And then when we got into the thick of it, right there towards the end of the season, my leading scorer, who ended up being first team all conference, he tore his ACL with 4 weeks to go. So I went into that run right there towards the end when we really got hot without my two best players. So I was more than impressed with how we finished the season, to go from we were in like 8th, 9th place to fighting for a conference championship and one shot away. Yeah. So with that, all the adversity that we faced, for us to have that type of success last year, I was just proud of my guys. And then for those guys to commit to come back, because in this NIL world, plenty of teams were calling, trying to get these guys to return.
Right.
And they stayed committed to what we're trying to do. But at the same time, they also want to get back to where we were last year and finish where we started. So just a overall, just proud of the program and where we are, and all the adversity that we fought through to still make it there is impressive.
Deserve to win. All-Star game coming up tomorrow night. Again, 615-963-7968. If you want to call Ross and get that number, he will be able to give it to you. Or contact the Gentry Center ticket office. Penny, great talking with you as always, man. Keep pushing, brother.
Yes, sir. Appreciate y'all. Thanks for y'all time, man, as always.
Hey, Penny, man, continue putting on for the city, man. Doing a terrific job pulling people together. It's only a certain amount of people that can call people, and they're gonna get a response. You one of them guys, man, to be here homegrown
always
like this. It's a true blessing to watch you flourish over there, man. And hopefully everybody will get behind it, man. If we can just do it one at a time. But you're doing the right thing, man. I appreciate you, man, and the city proud of you, bro.
Yes, sir. I appreciate them words, especially come from you. Thank you.
No doubt.
All right, there is Brian Penny Collins,
good dude right
TSU
there, man.
basketball coach.
Good dude right there. I'm telling you.
How many years has he been at TSU?
And I want to say he's getting
7 years. He's getting ready to go into 8.
I think he's ready to pass Frankie Allen if he didn't this year.
Wow.
You know what I mean? So it's like
you said a homegrown guy too,
dude. I'm telling you, man. Like that's some of the most difficult thing to do. First of all, that sentence didn't make no sense, but that's one of the most difficult things to do.
I speak so.
As far as
you speak, Mayor.
Coming back home and play. It's easier to play at home than it is to coach at home. Because you got so much
That's
more
an interesting
stuff
comment.
you got to manage.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and then you got so many people that are friends of yours that they want you to recruit their kid, their cousin, their nephew. You know what I mean? Their little brother, son that's growing up. It's a hard thing to manage, and Penny's done a great job with that, man. So over there, got to give some love to Josh Bone over there too, man. Bone is on his staff. That's been his ride or die with him, man. So everybody over there is staff, Russ, everybody over there. So great job at TSU, Dr. Mickey Allen, putting it together, man.
When we come back, Aaron Wiggins from the NBA champs, the Oklahoma City Thunder, delivers a great speech at the celebration about what it means to make the journey to champion. That's next. 3HL 104.5 The Zone. Want to tell you about my friends at Brentwood Jewelry, the Imamali family. They're awesome, man. Just go in there, introduce yourself, and you will have friends for life, and you'll have jewelers for life, and these guys will help you with all of your gifting opportunities throughout the course of the year. They are phenomenal people. BrentwoodJewelry.com is the website. Brentwood Jewelry here to help you pop the question. Let them help you take the stress out of selecting the perfect engagement ring. They can help you find a beautiful ring in your ideal budget. Browse their incredible selection of one-of-a-kind rings, or talk with their custom design specialists to create a stunning ring as remarkable as your loved one. If you haven't heard, Nashville's premier timepiece dealer is Brentwood Jewelry. Not only do they have the best selection in watches, but they're also the go-to spot for pre-owned Rolexes, both vintage and current models. You can own a fine pre-owned Rolex for a fraction of the cost, and every watch has been meticulously serviced to ensure the highest level of performance and is presented with a 2-year warranty. Brentwood Jewelry here for you with all of your jewelry needs. They have everything you could possibly imagine. 7012 Church Street, located in the heart of Brentwood, just off Franklin Road. Exceptional style, exceptional deals every day. For more than 50 years, visit BrentwoodJewelry.com.
What's happening, y'all? Time is of the essence until it's not. When you throw those keys to that 14, 15, 16-year-old, the one out there that just got the the permit to be able to go out there and drive a little bit, maybe just go to school. Accidents happen. They pop up. What are you going to do? You can't be there for everything. You can't be the protector, but you can have somebody there to fight for you, which is like protecting. Car accidents happen all the time. Bart Durham Injury Law is who you need to have on deck, ready to call. 615-242-9000. That's for your kids out there. That's for these teenagers out there, the young adults that are just still up under your insurance and you're trying to figure out, how am I going to make it happen? That's what Blair Dorman and his team, they've been fighting for folks in Tennessee for years, making sure insurance companies pay up. No upfront costs, no waiting around, just real people making sure you get what you deserve. Bart Durham Injury Law is real simple. Here 24/7, ready to fight for you. 615-242-9000, BDIL.
Three HL 104.5 The Zone. Britt Doherty, Ron Slay with you. Don Davenport on assignment. 104.5 The Zone. Split Happens Bowling Bash with special guests and listeners tonight at King's Bowling in Cool Springs. I thought this was a Buck Rising event. Evidently, it is not. It is a zone event. And you can join us for a fun night of bowling with food, drinks, and more, all to help benefit Home Street Home. Admission is free. Bowling and food and beverage will be available for purchase. Learn more at 1045thezone.com/events. HomeStreetHomeTN.org. Please check them out and see how you can help. Bert just walked by, so we grabbed him. What up, Bert?
What's going on? Great job on that fade, Ross. That was great. Producer to producer, game to game. That was a good job.
Well, thank you very much, Bert.
Oh, I didn't need you to talk now. I didn't need you to talk. All I hear when we about to start the segment is, "Oh, you guys up? 5, 4." Sound like Stone Cold back there.
They do got a little Stone Cold,
So
man.
for all y'all listening, all of our producers have to answer to this guy, Bert.
Big boss Bert.
And it's not just on the Zone, it's WTN as well. I don't know how did you end up in management on 2 radio stations here?
You know, sleeping with the boss finally paid off. You know, finally paid off.
Hey, man. Bert just trying to make things happen, man. However he got to do it.
I mean, you can't fault him, right?
I really feel like this is Bert's event.
You think so?
It could be a Burt Rising event. How about that?
Have you,
let's keep rising out of it.
Have you
Okay,
been
let's do it.
bowling today?
I bowled 7.5 games in an hour to get warmed up for this.
7.5 games.
It's just me, though. It's just me. So I had a bunch of little kids beside me. They was using my balls. I was using their balls.
Just letting it roll.
Hey, and I think that makes my average looks even better. After 7 games, I think I averaged 155, and I had to deal with Mama, dealing with this slide and the bumper.
I
and
mean,
him
kids
coming
can't
up.
take losing, man. So you just
Oh,
let
I
them
can't
have
take
it.
losing either.
so
I was out there
something
pitching a
gotta
fit,
give. Yeah.
sweaty as hell.
Hey, I'm going to tell y'all the coldest area in here is back there.
In a kingpin.
Man, dog, that's some cool bowling back there.
Yeah, that's the private event bowling
This
over there.
VIP back there. I think it's 4 lanes. It's what's up, though. They let me go back there one time.
If you are a bowling
Good friend of
fan,
mine.
you got to come down here to Cool Springs.
It's
'cause
real cool.
They do it right over here. Because
Yes, they do.
if
They
you
really
like
do.
to bowl, but you want your kids to stay out of your business as an arcade,
Yeah.
send them off to the side.
Yep.
Let them do some skee ball. That's
That's
kid
right.
bowling, by the way. Skee ball
ball.
is kid bowling.
Just
Let
roll
them
it up
kids
out.
go over there and do their stuff. You can handle your business
Yeah.
on the lanes.
So, my bad. So I was just going to ask Bert, will it end like it ended last year?
With a bunch of warm Tito shots.
That's my guy.
Okay, yeah, it can. Cheyenne was not going to come, but she can pick me up if need be.
Warm Tito shot.
They were
Oh,
warm
dude, it was
last
warm,
year.
boy.
She was like, "Can I chill these?" And Ron made an exclamation of no.
Yeah, bring it on.
Really?
Yeah, bring it on like it is.
You want the warm shot?
By that time, I was in it.
We were where we needed to be.
Yeah. Wasn't no need left in the cold.
So here's the thing, like Bert, Slay's. What is your observation here, and what is your advice? Slay's got reconstructive knee surgery at 6 a.m. Do you think he can participate in bowling tonight?
He can participate at the bar. That's one thing, and that's 2 for sure. I think he could contribute on the bowling lanes, but we just might have to make a little concession. You know what I mean? Give him some. They have some beautiful slides here. If your kids can't get the ball down the lane, shaped like dinosaurs, we'll get you a purple dinosaur, look like Dino from Colorado. We'll get you Dino in the lane. We'll get you some bumpers. I think Slay could still outbowl Seth with bumpers and
like that.
the slide.
So
like
put the
that.
bumpers down, and then use the little ramp thing where he just rolls the
Little
ball
dinosaur.
in it.
Oh, yeah. I'm down with that.
It's like the Flair Flintstone thing. Remember, you used to slide down the back of the dinosaur when he get off work?
Ooh, don't get me started.
That was good.
What time y'all get off? Y'all get off at 6. We can get some warm shots.
but not
right
really,
now.
right?
Yeah, I don't like being on with y'all because y'all make me want to party.
Hey, that's what it's supposed to be. That Savage coming out. Have you talked to him?
I have not talked to Seth. Is he coming out over
That's
here?
a great question. Somebody should ask.
I like when Bert gets excited, his voice gets elevated like Blaine.
Is he coming out here?
Is Savage coming out of here?
We will find out. That'll be a good question.
I know
Yeah.
Lucas Panzica will be here.
Oh, will he?
He is a terrible bowler, but he looks great in the shorts. So if
Somebody
you're
else
into
in
that,
here a terrible bowler too.
who is that?
Excuse me? The first person to speak is usually the guilty party. I'm just saying. I didn't say anything. I didn't look at anybody and say anything. or
Who
nothing.
spoke? I didn't even see.
I
Was
don't
that
know.
Rich?
Nameless, faceless.
Wasn't Ferris. I just know that.
Yeah.
Saying.
What's the best game y'all ever bowled? Are y'all actual bowlers or y'all pretenders?
I took bowling at University of Tennessee, so
Same.
I got
I
pretty
did too.
good.
Not at Tennessee. I did it at ECU. We had 3 lanes to bowl on. Y'all probably had something crazy up in Rocky Top.
No, it was in the basement of the
Yeah.
UC Center. They
cool down
totally
there, though.
demolished that. But it was weird to bowl without beer. That was weird.
They wouldn't sell y'all no beer down there?
No, I mean, it was class. Bert, what are you talking about? I mean, it's
That's how
serious
I bowl.
business.
That's just how I bowl.
Right, that's
good.
what I'm saying. But like when you're taking
on behalf of
class,
himself too.
It's like beer pong. Like, you want me to play beer pong sober? Like, I need to see 10 cups.
No,
I
tell
don't
him
need to see.
what was in my backpack.
right? But if you're taking beer pong as a class at a university, they're probably not going to.
They would probably call it Pong 101 or something. They wouldn't call it beer pong.
They
So we had a
to
debate the other day. Speaking of college, Zeph made it out of the University of Tennessee without taking a foreign language at all.
What?
Zero.
That's the wildest thing
You
I
were
heard
at
this
ECU.
year.
Did you have to take foreign language there?
See,
and what did you take?
I can't fault him because I'm a draft dodger too. I'm a foreign language dodger too. No, I took a foreign language.
How's this possible?
I took a foreign language, but I took a dead one. They allowed you to take Latin
dead
as
language.
your foreign language, but I could tell you the roots and suffixes, prefixes,
Do all that.
middle fixes of words.
Right.
All
So
the
the other day,
fixings.
I was like, the plural of stadium is stadia.
Right. Like
Which comes from
octopus
Latin.
is octopi.
Yeah. And
Unless
they
you're talking
didn't
about-
believe me. They thought I was crazy, but it's true.
Or alumnus. You know, it's the reverse. I am an alumni. I am an alumnus. The more you know.
Yeah, I don't know none of it.
But I
either.
can't say
Thank you.
konnichiwa, hola, none of that. I'm terrible with foreign language.
Dude, I don't understand how you can get by without Latin. Okay, that's still you took something.
Okay, to prove
This
my
man
point,
didn't take nothing.
What did you take?
I took Spanish.
Okay, tell me what you're doing this summer in Spanish.
I am
hold on,
saying uno, dos, tres, cuatro.
See?
Then do like a little dance behind
You
it.
taking Spanish didn't do you no good,
Didn't do
did
no-
it? It's like-
Spanish makes the most sense. Like every other language, you're like, why?
unless you're going to take Mandarin, which is like the language of the future,
Yeah,
is
I
what they
hate
used
that.
to say.
Language
Yeah.
of the future.
Yeah, they take it over to Innsbruck.
Bert's the man of the future.
I am
Absolutely.
the man and the past. And the past.
What was the language at Tennessee everybody said was the easiest and everybody took, but it was Brazilian or it was something off the charts.
I never got
I
that
took
opportunity.
French. What am I going to do with French?
See, French is the language of love. That's when you have to rizz them up, hit them with the oh baguettes. You know, that's all I know in French.
Oh, baguettes.
It's escargot.
Slay said, "Stay away from the wee wee."
I know how to say something, but it ain't good. I'll tell y'all on the break.
Bert is here, y'all. If you want to bowl with him,
Absolutely.
he's bowling 7.5 games an hour.
I thought they was about to play my music. That's how you usually set them up. Be like, Slay's here. What would my music?
What would your music be?
Nah, it would be Sanford and Son.
That should be it.
That is the best
You got to do that,
TV
Bert.
show theme song ever. Quincy Jones.
So good, man.
Or the wheel noise, which you've made famous.
Oh, the wheel noise.
No, I thought
you
it was
guys
like
saw.
Deliverance coming from Bert. Like,
No, have you heard the wheel noise?
Ding, 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 ding. Paddle faster. We hear banjos.
when Bert walks in, you hear a bunch of banjos going.
Well,
See, I'd rather be the fellas in the canoe than the fellas chasing, though. I feel like I got out paddle them.
That's right. The
Anytime you
canoe
watch
guys,
that
okay.
movie, I'm like, nah, y'all missed. They
I've
wouldn't have
never
never
watched
called
it.
me. You don't need to.
thank you.
It's a sad movie.
Yeah, I don't want to be sad. I watched enough of the Notebook before.
It's one part that's sad.
The whole thing, it's scary, though. I like
No,
kayaking. It's
I ain't with
scary if
scary.
you like kayaking.
No, I did whitewater
Wait,
rafting
you
one
like
time.
hiking or kayaking?
I like kayaking.
Oh,
Whitewater rafting is fun.
Oh, whenever your knee gets fixed, well, that's where we're
That's
going.
what-
They're going to have to get an extra long one for you. I don't know how you fit your legs on there.
I ain't been since I was about 16, 17.
I'll tell y'all a
It's a
quick
ball,
story.
though.
It ain't gonna be quick, but it's a quick one. I went whitewater rafting in Andrews, North Carolina, with a church group, and they told us we was the first one to go down the falls because we was the most physically active looking people on the trip. And they said if you see another boat flip, you need to grab them by the shoulders of their life jacket and pull them in the boat. Fall back. Don't try to muster your strength to do it. Fall
Yeah.
back. Well, this family of pretty heavy set people capsized their raft going over the falls. So when I went to grab this large woman's shoulders and I went to lean back, I remembered not to use my strength, but to lean back in the boat and I'd bring them in. I got in the boat, but she was about eye level out of the water. So I was just drowning this poor woman, trying to pull her in the boat.
large woman.
Very large woman. Like some of them they see down there in San Antonio. So then
Shout out Charles
the
Barkley.
fellow who was our raft leader hits my hands with his oar to make me let go of her. They got this woman out of the water and she was I about killed this lady.
keeping her under.
I about killed this lady. I was trying to do my civic duty.
I'm trying to lean
do my
back.
civic duty.
Trying to be like Fat Joe and lean back and couldn't. Dang.
By the way,
almost went under, man.
The boss man texted. I don't know what boss you were talking about, but the boss man texted and said, Bert is great, isn't he?
It was Paul. Paul is who I was referring to.
That's who texted.
He'll be here tonight. He'll be here tonight.
Welcome.
All right, you can bowl with Bert. He's going 7.5 games per hour, so you can sidle up to Bert and the kids.
Quantity, not quality.
That's right. More 3HL coming up as we broadcast live from Kings Bowling in Cool Springs. 1045thezone.com for more information about what's going on tonight. This is 3HL.
Dun, 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 dun. You need new doors and windows. Yes, you do. Pella Windows and Doors of Nashville. That's who you need to call. I did all the research for you because my rental property, the windows were collapsing in, and I had no choice but to put in new windows and doors. And so I went through every single company you could utilize here in Nashville, and out of all of them, Pella Windows and Doors of Nashville was my absolute favorite, and they have been phenomenal to work with. They did all of my windows and doors in my rental property. They did windows in my home because they were failing, and I just had them do 2 more doors in my home as well. You might be surprised to learn how affordable replacement windows are from Pella Windows and Doors of Nashville. Even more affordable because they're celebrating 100 years in business this year. And so guess what? They let me do dawn deals every week and every month. And for the month of June, it's a good one. 60% off qualifying installations plus 0% APR for 36 months. Ask for details. Schedule your free consultation. That's Pella Windows and Doors of Nashville online at PellaNashville.com.
Good afternoon. It's 4:04. I'm Justin Bonanno, live from Kings Bowl for the 104.5 The Zone Split Happens event. In NFL news today, the NFL suspended former Ravens kicker Justin Tucker without pay for the first 10 weeks of the 2025 NFL season for violations of the NFL's personal conduct policy after multiple accusations of sexual harassment that led to his release from the Ravens. He is eligible for reinstatement on November 11th. Tennessee baseball picked up another transfer portal commitment today, this time from Rice two-way freshman star Blaine Brown, who is a unanimous freshman All-American and an All-AAC pick, as a designated hitter after hitting .292 with 10 homers and 38 RBIs. He also pitched but only appeared in 7 games, including a start against the Bulls. Tonight, the 2025 NBA Draft continues with the second round beginning at 7 p.m. as the Minnesota Timberwolves are on the clock to start day 2. For your foundation repair and waterproofing needs, you need to visit USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Titans and Balls. This is 104.5 The Zone.
HL 104.5 The Zone. Brent Doherty with you on a beautiful day in the Music City. I said that we would hear from Aaron Wiggins from the NBA champs, the Oklahoma City Thunder, delivering a great speech at the celebration about what it means to make the journey to champions. His first year, Slay Dog, they won 24 games. 4 years later, NBA champs. Is that what we're looking at with Cam Ward taking over the Tennessee Titans?
4 years?
Are we... Well, just the journey to championship. Are we looking at that?
I can see that, but it takes so many more pieces.
It takes
in the NFL,
so much
man.
more, right?
Golly. That's why those chip, any chip, man, it's a story behind it, a journey and sacrifice so much and so much more. But NFL, man, it's 22 guys, and then you need depth behind them. Like, it's, golly, that's
takes
tough.
all 53.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. We are broadcasting live from Kings Bowl Entertainment and in Cool Springs, and this is the 104.5 The Zone annual, third annual Split Happens Bowling Bash with special guests and listeners tonight at Kings Bowling in Cool Springs. You can join us for a night of bowling with food, drinks, and more, all to help benefit Home Street Home. If you go to homestreethometn.org, this is one of the organizations that I choose to support, and Stephen Young and his crew they do an amazing job. But they point to Proverbs 31, 8, 9. Speak up for those who cannot speak for themselves, for the rights of all who are destitute. Speak up and judge fairly and defend the rights of the poor and needy. And think about our friends that are homeless now with the heat that we are dealing with. And we talk about like how hot we all are and all of these things, and a lot of us have air conditioning to go into and things like that, but that community does not. So homestreethometn.org will tell you more as we roll through. Let's listen to this. Well, first I need to say Ron Slay is here.
I'm in the building.
6 a.m. Slay Dog. That is when you will...
That's call time, baby.
Call time.
That's when I'm in the warm-up line.
Tip time?
Tip time, 6:30.
6:30.
Yep, I'll be prepped and ready by 6.
And you will be in...
a different state of mind.
You'll be in, I was going to say rehab on Monday.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
right over there at Elite.
Just right there.
Yep.
And I was thinking about
10 a.m.
Somebody was asking me about that, like how hard is rehab and all this. And I'm like, Slay's an athlete, man. He's been through this a million times. Like, he knows how serious it is.
Yeah.
He knows how to do everything he needs to do when he needs to do it, and he will crush that.
It's always easier when you got a goal to go hit. It's the waiting in limbo. This time is the hard time.
Executive producer at 3HL is Zeph Dog.
What's up?
You can watch the show live, YouTube, Facebook Live, Twitter, and Twitch.
Twitch, please.
Let's see.
Andrew Wiggins.
Tyler says, yes, I will get there.
Oh, sorry.
Bert should have dressed up like John Goodman in The Big Lebowski. Who's to say he didn't? I mean, he does have a T-shirt on with, is that a gorilla on your T-shirt?
Yeah, uh-oh, stinky.
It reads, uh-oh, stinky. Jameson says Burt Rising in the house. Burt sounding like Pinocchio in Shrek. He did get elevated with the tone.
Look at what made Edgar Bob that tickled Edgar Bob's a little fancy right there, boy. Woo-wee.
Are we going to get with Juwan about his bowling prowess?
Listen, man.
He's still talking trash about bowling. 2 years ago, he talked trash, and I don't know what happened.
I never even mentioned him by name or anything. I just said, man, there's somebody in here that said it was cold, and I'll tell you what, they wasn't nothing.
Vandyman AD2 says, yeah, I didn't take a foreign language in college either.
Yeah, I don't know how y'all got away with this stuff.
Karen says, how did y'all get away with not taking a foreign language?
Thank you, Karen. Thank you.
I told you guys how I got away with it.
Yeah, but that don't.
Yeah, we're not hearing you, though.
Yeah.
We don't want to hear it. We still haven't seen your diploma.
Right.
It's at my dad's house. I don't live with him.
Well, you got to figure out how to get it to us, Denzel. We need to check that.
But if he shows us his diploma, are we going to believe it?
Nope, not till I got a microscope and I'm looking through it. It's AI can do anything now. And
I've got a video of me walking the stage.
They
don't let everybody do that.
Yeah, it's a lot of stages you can walk. We can create a stage in here. You are real creative, Zeph. You got drones and everything.
He is very creative. Yeah, exceptionally creative.
He can make up a walk. That's easy. That's the easy part.
Jameson says Bert's theme could be King of the Hill theme song. He's laughing.
Did you see they're bringing that back?
Are they?
Yeah, they're bringing King of the Hill back.
Damn it, Bubby. Travis says, no man should have to watch Deliverance, the movie. I watched it not too long ago, honestly, because everybody jokes about it, and I hadn't seen it in forever, so I didn't really remember it. But, yeah, I mean, it's there's one specific scene that everyone points to for that whole movie.
Yeah, I'm just letting them joke about it.
Did you watch that casino movie that we found yesterday? I forgot what it was called.
Casino movie?
The one about the roulette dropper?
The roulette, yeah.
I forgot what it's called.
Oh, that was called... I have not watched it yet because I'm trying to get through Landman. Phenomenal.
Is it Cordier? Is that what it was?
That sounds like some glasses. Cartier.
Dave Coulier. He was on...
I can't remember.
It's something. It starts like with a C.
It does start with a C. And it's got
Croupier.
Croupier. That's what it was. I was close.
Croupier. I had to go back through my show prep.
Good job.
Travis says, Bert is funny as hell. He said, thank you, Travis. Laura says, Bert is highly entertaining. Should I be reading these? Like, are we getting his head too expanded?
No, Bert gonna be always fine.
Nah, it's Big Boss Bert.
Yeah,
he knows how to handle it. That's why he's the boss.
Ramon says, I tell our guy, don't be treating Bert like he's sideshow entertainment. That is a very sophisticated man.
There's no lie told.
Savage will be on the show later at 5:20. All right, let's listen to Aaron Wiggins, man. Y'all need to hear this. And he, at one point, I need to explain this. At one point, they show Nick Collison's jersey hanging from the rafters, and he sees Nick in the crowd, so he points him out. But this is Aaron Wiggins, who's been there since they won 24 games his rookie year, talking about the OKC Thunder, and his speech is kind of in celebration about what it means to make the journey to champion. Listen.
What a journey. Was it worth it? To start off, we got to show love to the greats and the legends who wore Oklahoma City across their chests and set the foundation before us so that we can celebrate today. I came in as the 55th pick. Oh, Nick Collison. Where Nick Collison at? Where Nick at? Come on, Nick. Come on, Nick. Yeah, Nick. I came in as the 55th pick in the 2021 draft. In my rookie season, we won 24 games. 24 games. But the best part about coming from that year is that the same people in this arena today celebrating this championship were the same people there when we were winning 24 games. It was the point where they tried to call us the black hole of the NBA. Boo. But 4 years later, when they mentioned the Thunder organization, when they mentioned Clay Bennett, when they mentioned Sam Presti, when they mentioned Mark Daigneault, and every single one of you in this arena, they gotta mention you as NBA champs.
I mean, how great is that? From the black hole of the NBA to every one of y'all gets a piece of this. NBA champions. So cool.
That's what it's about right there. Stay down till you come up.
Well, and that's what I keep talking about, like, with regard to the Titans. And we have no way to know if they're going to win the Super Bowl in, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, ever. We have no way to know.
This is correct.
But here we all are, sitting with our feet firmly in the ground at the same place, all of us, ready for this journey, right? And who's to say they don't win a Super Bowl in 3, 4, 5 years? Who's to say they don't? And we will all be here for it.
Yep.
As a part of this ride.
We got to get some pieces.
Got to get some pieces. We'll talk about that when we come back. Greg Cosell will join us next. We'll talk about that wide receiver room and go through what the tape tells us about that room. Also, want to hit on the tight ends. A lot of talk about Gunnar Helm maybe being that tight end number one by the time the season rolls around. We'll do that next. 3HL broadcasting live from King's Bowling and Entertainment in Cool Springs. And we will be here until 6 o'clock. We've got the event Split Happens Bowling Bash. You can look for more information online, 1045thezone.com. Just head on out here. You'll have a good time whether you get to bowl or not. Benefiting HomeStreetHomeTN.org. We'll be back. More 3HL next on 1045 The Zone.
What's happening, y'all? KellumStemCellInstitute.com is where you need to head to. Now, patients have experienced remarkable results from a wide range of issues. And that list, congestive heart failure, lung issues, autism, arthritis, whatever it may be that is disturbing your peace. As far as you getting working out and doing the things that you want to, just taking a walk. Go for a walk in the neighborhood. It's difficult to do because the inflammation flares up and it's a problem. You got the answer. It's your body, your cells, your solution. They can not only harvest your body's stem cells, but also store them for future and continued use. Now, these cells are your body's own healing cells, harvested and redeployed based on your needs. We all know stem cells attack inflammation in the body, and we all know that autoimmune disorders derive from inflammation. So let's get to it. Get them cells up, let them work. It's time to go talk to Dr. Ethan Kellum. 615-850-4415. That's how you set up your consultation. 615-850-4415. KellumStemCellInstitute.com.
3HL 104.5, the Zone Thursday edition. Coming up tomorrow, Slay Dog's got surgery. Davenport's on assignment. It's just me, but it's not just me. The Hitman will be on from 3 until 4 o'clock in studio. And then Rhett Bryan from 4 until 6 talking Titans football. We will have Dan Wetzel on to talk about some national sports stories at 5:20. That's coming up tomorrow on 3HL. You can watch the show live, YouTube, Facebook Live, Twitter, and Twitch.
Twitch, please.
Thank you, Zeph Dog. The F&M Bank Chat is open. We are broadcasting live from Split Happens Bowling Bash, benefiting Home Street Home. You can check them out, homestreethometn.org. As we broadcast live in Kings Bowling in Cool Springs, Stephen Young, the guy behind homestreethometn.org, is here, and he will join us at 4:45. He was on the streets, man.
Mm-hmm.
He knows what this homeless community is going through.
Yes.
And he goes into that community and does everything he can to assist in any way he can. And if that ends up with, a guy or a gal coming off the streets, that's how it ends up. And he is an incredible, incredible person. A quote from the website from Abraham Miller: "A man begins to die when he ceases to expect anything from tomorrow."
Yes.
We've talked a lot about hope on this show, and you have to have
all
it.
the time.
You have to have it. Speaking of hope, where's the hope level with the Tennessee Titan fan base coming into a new season with a number 1 overall pick at quarterback? As we get closer to the season, I think people will get more and more hopeful.
I do too.
And
we keep saying the same showing that we've been able to see thus far.
That's right.
Okay.
And so we continue to break it down. And we do that with Greg Cosell every Thursday at 4:20 from a film perspective. Greg joins us now. Greg, what's up? How are you?
Gentlemen, what's happening?
What's up, Cosell?
We were talking about what kind of angle to go with today, and I know that we end up repeating ourselves a little bit with regard to your evaluations, but we also are reticent in the fact that we know that people listen from time to time and miss things and come back and hear some things and miss things and all of those things. But we wanted to hit the wide receiver room because it's a room that hasn't been exotic, let's say, with the Titans over the last several years. But it is a room, Greg, where I think there is a pretty significant competition level this year in training camp. And I'm kind of anxious to go through some of these guys with you because you were there during some of the mini camp sessions, so you saw some of these rookies that are getting tremendous run publicly, verbally from people inside that building, and we'll get to those guys. But let's start with Calvin Ridley and what you saw from him last year, 1,000-yard season, with certainly a challenge from the guys throwing him the football with Will Levis and Mason Rudolph. What did you see on tape from Calvin Ridley last year?
Well, the first thing I'll say is, you watch games on TV or I watch them on tape, and you can see guys move, obviously. That's what I do. But when you're standing 10 feet away and you see a guy move, it's just different. And Calvin Ridley is one of the smoothest athletes I think I've seen in person just watching him move. He's a really good receiver. He's a terrific route runner. He's incredibly fluid. He has head feints. He can stick his foot in the ground. He has what we call both route quickness and separation quickness. He's a really good NFL receiver. You nailed it, Brent. I mean, obviously the quarterback situation last year was, dysfunctional, too strong a word, but it certainly wasn't higher level relative to the rest of the NFL.
No, so I think dysfunctional is pretty good there, Greg.
All right, I'll let you say that. He still gained over 1,000 yards. I mean, if he was in a situation, and we'll see what happens this year, it's way too early to tell. But I think if he's in a situation with a more functional passing game, he's a guy that could easily get 1,300, 1,400 yards, and he'd be talked about the way he was a few years ago as one of the better receivers in the league. He's a really good receiver.
I remember you telling us after you visited the Titans minicamp a couple of days, and you said you forget how talented that guy is in front of you.
Oh, yeah.
Just how kind of different he looks.
Yeah, he's one of those guys. I mean, even in the National Football League where everybody's talented, there's certain guys are talented for different reasons. But Ridley is just incredibly smooth and fluid. It's effortless. It looks like he's running on air.
Greg Cosell with us on 3HL. You mentioned quarterback play. So one question we keep getting about Cam Ward is the narrative that, he wasn't a, dominant number one, this is the guy, number one pick going through the season last year. And all I can come back with to that is, just from what I hear, and maybe you heard something different, maybe you have a different take on this, but it really took like the end of the season for him to kind of climb those charts, for people to visit with him, to put him on the whiteboard, to work him out. And that's kind of when he escalated into the position where he went number one overall.
Well, the first part of what you said, and I'm being honest, I don't know what that means. All I know is I was done watching his tape in great detail by mid-February. And I came away from watching his tape. And also keep in mind, I had watched him last summer, 7 or 8 games from his last year at Washington State. And then I think I watched 9 games at the University of Miami. So before the scouting combine, I had finished my tape study. And I thought that based purely on tape, that he was worthy of a number one pick in the draft.
That's the phrase you used. He was worthy of the number one pick. Mm-hmm. That's exactly the phrase you used before all of the draft process.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, then finding out, because obviously I don't work for a team, so I'm not doing those things that you just mentioned, but finding out from people around the league what kind of person he is. The other thing you mentioned about his understanding and his character, that just raises it to a higher level. Now, I think it's important to say, I think he's going to be a really good player, but until we start playing games, I don't know. No one knows. And then much of it, as we've discussed many times, is very dependent on the team. It's you don't want to put a quarterback in a situation as a rookie, and it's very rare that this happens. Maybe he'll be one of those guys, but it's very rare that a rookie quarterback has to be literally the reason a team wins or loses every Sunday. That's a hard thing to ask of a rookie quarterback. But I truly believe he will be a very good quarterback. And I don't want people to think that means week one in Denver he's going to throw for 400 yards. Week one in Denver, he could have a bad game. They're playing against a great defense with a veteran D coordinator in Vance Joseph, who's a master at this stuff. So, we don't know what the learning curve will be, what the process will be, but I think he'll be a very good player.
Cosell, okay, so when you look at what you got, the guys that are protectors, but safety blankets, when you talk about the tight ends, a guy that keeps sticking out and we keep hearing people rave about him is Gunnar Helm. Like, what are your thoughts about him, and what impact can he have when you're watching the film? What does he do that really sticks out?
It's funny. Helm was in a very interesting situation in Texas because it seemed like every ball, and I'm exaggerating to some extent, obviously, but it seemed like a large majority, the high percentage of balls thrown to him, he was wide open based on scheme. He's really good run after catch. I didn't view him coming out, and I think that was evidenced by the fact that he was he a 5th round pick, I believe, or a 4th? Obviously evidenced by where he was drafted. I didn't view him as, a big-time number one tight end. But that's a relative term. Tight ends can catch a lot of balls depending on what team they're on and the scheme and the quarterback. Gunnar Helm's a very good receiver. He's just not explosive in the way you think of the top-tier tight ends. But, being there at the minicamp, I clearly got the sense, and it's minicamp, but I clearly got the sense that he's going to be a really meaningful part of this offense as they put it together.
Another tight end, Chig Okonkwo, obviously for the Titans, really came on toward the end of the season last year. And a large percentage of his production came in like his last 4 games. What did you see on tape? What do you think he can be?
Yeah, he's more of the receiving tight end. The one thing the Titans really don't have, and they're aware of this, and again, they're still in off-season, they're still training camp, players from other teams will get cut. The one thing the Titans really don't have, and Chig is not this guy either, and Gunnar Helm is not either, is they don't really have the inline blocking tight end.
Yeah.
The guy who can line up right next to the tackle and really, block defensive ends or outside backers if it's a 3-4-5-2 front. That's the one thing they're kind of lacking when it comes to the tight end position. Chig is a more athletic player. He's more of a movement tight end. You can line him up anywhere in the formation. He's another player that I think if the quarterback position had been better over the last 2 years, that he certainly could put up better numbers, and he might be seen in a different way by fans. People in the league see him for what he is, which is much more of a movement receiving tight end.
Right, and while we're on tight ends, Josh Wiley, another guy that's more of a pass-catching, kind of give vertical guy, right?
Yeah, they don't have that true tight end, in the run game. Not everybody's George Kittle, obviously, but the style of tight end, the guy that can line up right next to your tackle and just drive out, a defensive end in the run game.
Did you get an opportunity to lay eyes on David Martin Robinson? I know coming out of last year, out of the preseason, and yes, it was preseason, but man, he was making some plays to have you scratching your head. Long, lanky, long, rangy tight end, almost could blend with a receiver, just a tad bit slower as far as speed goes, but was making plays. Anything you expect from him coming out of mini camp? Did you get to see him?
I noticed him at camp because of the body type.
Right.
But I haven't studied him, so I can't really speak to any tape study.
Right.
But you just notice the body type. I mean, because he's one of those guys that looks like an athlete.
Yes.
So again, they'll look. You have to assume Chig's going to be there. I mean, they're not going to keep 5 tight ends or now you get into special teams work. That's what you get into because you'd have to believe that Chig's there, Gunnar Helm's going to be there. I mean, you'd assume Wiley would be there, but I guess you don't know that for sure. But, the other, we started off talking wide receivers, and I think, and Brent mentioned this to start, I think the competition is going to be fascinating because, there's 3 guys who are definites. It's the 2 rookies, DK and Ayamanor and Ridley. They're definites. So now you're getting into who are the other receivers after that? Because you'd have to assume that Bryce Oliver makes the team because from what I understand, I'll be the first to admit I don't study special teams, but I'm told that he's a true core special teams player, maybe the best special teams player on the roster. So that's a 4th receiver. So now you get into Lockett, Van Jefferson, Restrepo. It's going to be really competitive to see who the receivers are after those main 3.
That's right. Hey, okay, Cosell. So swinging back to tight ends, they got the tight end camp in town. George Kittle, Travis Kelce. I believe one more I'm forgetting. But Taylor Swift,
she showed up
right. That's right.
Apparently Taylor Swift, maybe she could be the blocker on the line of scrimmage.
Well, one thing she'll do is stop somebody from moving and just start making them scream. So, but one person that I saw out there that I'm super impressed by, man, and we talked a little bit about Kyle Pitts and the way he was going to be able to transfer what he was doing in college to the pro game. Expected more from him in Atlanta right away, but one person that didn't disappoint us was Brock Bowers, man. Like his body and everything. Yeah. How impressed were you with what he did this year?
Well, first of all, I've done this a long time, Slay, and I'm probably jaded to some degree, so it's rare that I'm a wow guy, like an oh my God, I've never seen that. But I just remember watching him I actually watched him all of his years at Georgia just because I saw Georgia so much. They always have so many guys. And he was just different. And he kind of did the same thing in the NFL. Yeah. I got a chance to meet Brock Bowers a number of years ago at the Maxwell dinner when it was in Atlantic City in Philadelphia. And I met his parents. He's actually from California. He's from Napa, California. He's a really impressive athlete. He is so good with the ball in his hands. I mean, he really looks like a wide receiver. But, you mentioned Kyle Pitts, and I loved him coming out. I spoke to a coach, and the term the coach used to me, which, again, he certainly hasn't lived up to what I and many others thought he could be. Mm-hmm. But the term that I heard from a coach on the team was he appears uninspired. That's not really a good word for an NFL player.
No, anybody professional, anybody tabbed an athlete, that's what you run away from. If you uninspired or not having a motor or non-motivated, those are bad words right there, Cosell.
I know, that's like you played, professional sports. You can tell those guys too right away.
Yeah, I'd much rather deal with somebody saying, boy, he's a little crazy, like he's a little bit of a head case. But one thing you ain't got to question is his motor. Give me that all day long. I'll fight through the rest.
Yeah.
Let's go back to wide receivers. We're kind of all over the board with wide receivers and tight ends, but what are they getting with Tyler Lockett, the veteran coming over for Seattle? His production level dipped last year tremendously.
Yeah, but there's a number of reasons for that. He's obviously closer to the end, Brent, than the beginning. But I think you're getting two things. You're getting a veteran who will be phenomenal in the wide receiver room with the young rookies, and you're getting a guy that really understands how to find voids in zone coverage, which really helps a quarterback. Because my guess is that he and Cam Ward will spend a lot of time talking. He'll be helping Cam Ward really learn the NFL game and what kind of throws you can make. Because, one of the things that I believe anyway, is a litmus test for quarterbacks is you're going to have to make window throws in the NFL between defenders when they're in zone. And you don't see a ton of that in college football. Now, Ward actually made some of those throws because the Miami passing game had a lot of NFL elements to it. But normally you don't see a ton of that, and that's critical in the NFL. You have to be able to throw between defenders. There's a certain timing anticipation that goes with that, but receivers can help big time in that regard. They can sort of slide into voids. They can find those soft spots in zone. They can make a quarterback feel comfortable that he can turn the ball loose.
Van Jefferson kind of going to be a situational guy, I guess. But what do you see from him? What are the things getting with him? Obviously, he's from here, so that's kind of a cool storyline.
Yeah, he's another veteran who knows how to run routes. He's always been a terrific route runner. I remember watching him coming out of Florida. What he's done in the NFL is kind of what I thought he would do, because he's not an explosive athlete. He's been with a number of teams, but he knows how to run routes. He knows how to separate at the top of his route stem. That's very helpful for a quarterback as well. But again, we're going to see, do all these guys make the – because, you just mentioned Lockett and Jefferson. That would make 5 right there, which they could be the 5, and then Bryce Oliver's the 6 because he's the special teams guy, which of course leaves Treylon Burks out of the mix, which could very well happen. And it wouldn't surprise me if that did happen. But, if Jefferson and Lockett both make it, then that's your 5 right there.
And then Restrepo maybe 7 if they keep 7?
I don't think they would. The thing with Restrepo, and I liked his tape, but he's – I would say 99.9% a slot-only receiver. And that can be a little difficult in today's NFL, particularly when you have DK, the rookie, who can line up anywhere. That's what he did at Florida. He lined up outside. He lined up inside. You have Ridley, who theoretically can line up anywhere as well. They have a lot of guys that can line up both outside and inside, because Jefferson can do that too. So if Restrepo is truly a slot only, which, as I said, I really believe he is, he could be in a tough spot, even though he's really good at that.
And what did you think about Io Manor as we wrap up the wide receivers?
Yeah, well, he was a fun guy to watch on tape. Again, it was mini camp, but he was super impressive in the 2 days that I was at the mandatory mini camp. He is a big man in person. I don't know if you guys have seen him in person. He is big. He can run. His biggest issue was drops, way too many drops on routine throws. They know that. He knows that. They're working to clean that up. But he's big and he can run. So it'll be interesting to see how they see him. Again, right now we don't know about the rookies. It's exciting to talk about them. We don't know, number one, if they'll be dressed. We don't know if they'll have a big role. Hey, maybe they'll be really good through training camp, and come week 1, they'll be the second or third receivers. We don't know any of this yet, but he's an impressive physical specimen.
Always enjoy the chats every Thursday at 4:20. Greg Cosell from NFL Films, NFL Matchup. Greg, great stuff, man. Appreciate you.
Appreciate it, guys. Have a great weekend.
There he is, at Greg Cosell on X. When we come back, we'll visit with Stephen Young, who is the man behind HomeStreetHomeTN.org. Seriously, stay tuned and listen to his story. You're going to want to hear it. 3HL 104.5 The Zone.
All right, this one is for all of my mamas out there. Are you juggling sickness? Does your kid go to daycare? I get it. I feel it in my soul. And then you call the pediatrician and they're like, oh, yeah, sorry, can't get you in for a week. What? And then you have to work on top of it. How about medical house calls? Yes, they come to you. So you don't have to wait to get into the doctor. And not only do they come to you, they bring everything they need. And then if you need a prescription for your little one, for you, for anybody to get better, they will give it to you at that appointment, which means you don't even have to go pick up medicine at the pharmacy. Yeah, 7 days a week, 615-838-2375, medicalhousecalls.com. The process is super simple. Book your visit. They come to you, medical providers at your door to deliver you the care that gets you back ASAP. medicalhousecalls.com.
HL 104.5 The Zone, broadcasting live from the Split Happens Bowling Bash that will be taking place tonight at King's Bowling in Cool Springs, benefiting Home Street Home. Steve Young from Home Street Home, TN.org, joins us now. Steve, great to see you, man. How are you?
Good to see y'all. I appreciate you having me.
Man, it's been a hot week, man. We've been thinking about and we've been talking about all week, really, the homeless community and what they're having to deal with, and how challenging is this time of year for those guys?
It is extremely challenging. And a scary statistic the National Weather Service just came out with was that more people are dying in the summer, weather-related,
than in the winter.
Than in the winter.
Wow. Because, we've talked with you about that because I think it becomes very clear to a lot of people when it's, frigidly cold. Like I know we had a December day where it was 9 degrees, but sometimes you don't think about it in the heat.
Right.
And what that community deals with. And just to let people know, you haven't been on in a while, but homestreethometn.org is the website. Go there, see what these guys do. And Steve was a member of that community.
I lived it for 5 years, yes.
How did you end up on the streets?
Just some bad choices and some bad luck. Now, I do want to throw out there, my choices were not drugs and alcohol. I've never been drunk. I'm just turned 69, and I've never taken a drug unless it was prescribed. That is the go-to cause that most people want to use for the reason they're out there. And what they need to know is this: it's the least cause. 7% of people that end up on the streets end up there because of drug and alcohol abuse.
Wow.
That's crazy.
So mental health isn't...
Mental health is a lot of it, but the number one, almost 48%, loss of job or a significant reduction in income. Because here's the deal.
It's that simple.
It's that simple. And let's say you have a job where you're like Ron Slay, who makes, 7 figures a year.
Oh, yeah.
And
easy. 8.
You hear that, Mace?
8.
But no, let's say you make $150,000 a year, but you lose that job, and the only job you can find is going to pay you $65,000-$70,000. Guess what? Your house payment didn't go down. You had a $150,000 a year lifestyle.
Right.
You had a $150,000 a year house payment, car payment, all of those things. They don't go down just because your salary did. The next thing you know, one of my problems was I ended up losing everything financially and couldn't get it back. But so people just need to understand everybody has a story.
Right.
And nobody is out there by choice. Now, I'm going to be realistic. Some are out there now, and you would say to them, would you like to get off the streets? No, I'm fine.
Yeah.
But the reason they're that way is they have spent years, some of them decades, trying and getting doors slammed in their face, getting lied to, getting that nice little shiny bauble waved in front of their face and then have it jerked away, and they've just given up. But what we do is we let them know that we're fine with that. And when they do get ready, we're there for them. I don't get frustrated with them because having lived it for 5 years, I understand. And people don't understand how hard it is to make that decision. I believe I've told you before, and maybe since Ron's been around. When I got off the streets, the person that helped me get off the streets, he was ready 2 weeks before I said yes. Because I was terrified. Here's what you got to understand. Unless you've lost everything, and I literally mean everything, your entire world is in a backpack, you can't understand the fear of that happening again. When I moved off the streets, I didn't turn the blankets back on my bed for 6 months, little over. I took the sleeping bag that I'd slept in for almost 5 years
and put it on top
of the bed. Every day when I got home and put that key in the door, I fully expected it not to work. There was a boulder the size of a bowling ball, kind of like where we're at now. Pun intended.
Yeah.
Sitting in my stomach because of that fear.
Yeah.
Let's do this. Let's continue your story, and you've been there and done that, which gives you credibility with some of these guys and gals that don't trust anybody or anything, including themselves.
Right.
When we come back, let's talk a little bit more about it. HomeStreetHomeTN.org. Please go there. And there are many ways that you can help Steve and his crew help with our homeless community. HomeStreetHomeTN.org. More 3HL coming up as we broadcast live from Split Happens, Bowling Bash, Kings Bowling in Cool Springs, Home Street Home. More next. 3HL. I want to tell you about my friend John Pirtle, president and CEO of eSpaces, and more specifically about eSpaces. This is his company and his baby, and he's very passionate about what he does, and that's helping you guys when you need a place to work, and maybe you can't get enough effective work time in your office setting. Maybe that's at home. Maybe it's in your office building. But these guys can help you out. Whatever you're looking for, maybe a one-day thing, maybe a monthly thing, whatever you're looking for, they'll be able to help you out. eSpaces.com is the website. Check them out. eSpaces, redefining co-working with exceptional offices for every business. 2 Middle Tennessee locations, new Middle Tennessee locations, opening this July. Cool Springs at Corporate Center, Brentwood at City Park. Designed for entrepreneurs, teams, established professionals, featuring private offices, team suites, meeting rooms, fully equipped meeting rooms, 24/7 access, flexible terms, beautiful professional spaces that are move-in ready. Whether you're scaling up or just getting started, whatever you're looking for, eSpaces provides flexibility without compromise. Want to check it out? Tours available now. Reserve your space early. Visit eSpaces.com. That's eSpaces.com. See all 15 locations online and learn everything that they have to offer you. eSpaces.com.
Good evening. It's 5:02. I'm Joe Spinano live from the Kings Bowl here for the 104.5 The Zone Split Happens event. In NFL news today, the NFL suspended former Ravens kicker Justin Tucker without pay for the first 10 weeks of the 2025 NFL season for violations of the NFL's personal conduct policy after multiple accusations of sexual harassment that led to his release from the Ravens. He is eligible for reinstatement on November 11th. Tennessee baseball picked up another transfer portal commitment today, this time from Rice two-way freshman Blaine Brown, who was a unanimous freshman All-American and an All-AAC pick as the designated hitter after hitting .292 with 10 homers and 38 RBIs. He also pitched but only appeared in 7 games, including a start against the Vols. Tonight, the 2025 NBA Draft continues with the second round beginning at 7 p.m. as the Minnesota Timberwolves are on the clock to start day 2. Fire foundation repair, waterproofing needs, you need to visit USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home with the Titans and Vols. This is 104.5 The Zone.
Three, now 104.5 The Zone Thursday edition. Brent Doherty with you on a beautiful day in the Music City. You can watch the show live, YouTube, Facebook Live, Twitter, and Twitch. Twitch, please.
Twitch, please.
That's right. Don Davenport on assignment. Slay Dog is here, though.
I'm in the building. Yes. I'm in.
Slay Dog, lots of friends of the show have come by and told you good luck tomorrow.
Yes, they have,
and
man.
I know that means a lot to you, and all the messages on the Evan and Bank chat, and
greatly appreciate it.
People reaching out to you.
Yep.
6 a.m.
Yeah, greatly appreciate it, man. Somehow I'm gonna try to figure out if I can document it, just like record some little snippets somehow.
I totally want you to go on Facebook Live or Instagram Live or something.
That could be a little dangerous. I got a couple companies that I'm under that I work for that I like the job. When I come out, I would still like to have the job. So maybe I will record and then
let me be clear. I want you to have the job too. So don't do that.
I think I'm recording. I'm with my glasses. I might record it with the glasses too. So
the better glasses.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting.
Big Savagery, Raone Foster will join us at 5:20. We're visiting with. Let me tell you, we're here for the event tonight that 104.5 The Zone has going on. Split Happens Bowling Bash. I think this is the third year.
Yes.
Third annual year, benefiting Home Street Home. We are live at Kings Bowling in Cool Springs, and there'll be a bunch of people bowling tonight. The charitable cause, obviously, Home Street Home, TN.org, and we're visiting with Steve Young, the man behind this organization. You've got so many people that help you, so many people that hear your story, and we kind of dove in a little bit. And we'll get more into it, but I know you're very thankful for the people that have signed on to further your passion.
Oh, extremely thankful, and couldn't do it without them. Because I can tell you, when I started this 10 years ago, I didn't know anything.
Yeah,
I didn't know what I was getting in for. But during that 10 years, just some amazing people, and you guys here at the station have been extremely gracious and supportive, and which is good. Our friends, I like to call them our friends. They're not our clients. They are actually our friends. Like I did when I was on the streets, they listen to y'all. You're their lifeline to sports. And as I'm driving around every day, I hear you bring it up. I hear Buck bring it up. I hear practically everybody at the station bring it up. And sometimes I'm in a camp and they hear that, and the smiles that come on their face, it is so amazing.
Well, one thing you guys can do, honestly, like our social media crew out there, follow Home Street Home _TN on Instagram. That is a great way for Steve to get the word out when you need something done quickly.
Yes.
And when the need is there, and when we see it, honestly, contact Steve and he'll get back with you, and you can help that way. So that's a great way to get that done on the social media. Steve Young with us. So you mentioned like a lot of people think it's drugs and alcohol that leads people to the streets. A lot of people think it's mental illness, and those things do lead people to the streets. It does. But you talked about your situation, and imagine $150,000, for example, lifestyle that's gone.
Right.
The mortgage payment doesn't go away, even though your job does, and so that leads people to the streets. So you said you were on the streets for 5 years. What was that transition like when you sit down and you realize this is where I am in life?
It was the most terrifying moment of my life. That first night when it sunk in,
because you don't know where to go. You don't know.
I didn't know anything about being homeless. Nothing. And to be, open, I had burned a lot of bridges. So there really wasn't anybody to turn to at that moment. And, there were, but I didn't want them to know my situation. I was too embarrassed. I was too ashamed. When I was standing on the corner for the first time trying to make money, I kept saying to myself and to God, please don't let somebody drive by here that knows me. And I shouldn't have said that, because somebody did. And when I saw the brake lights hit and they started to turn around, I ran, literally ran, because I was too embarrassed, too ashamed. It's not easy. And that first night, every little sound was like, and where am I going to go? I had less than $20 in my pocket. Where am I going to go? What am I going to do? And it was just, it was a rough few weeks. But I remember having seen other homeless individuals standing on a corner selling the Contributor, which is the homeless newspaper here in Nashville.
Yep.
And I had bought a lot of those papers myself. So I found out where they were. I went down. I went through their little training class, and that's what I started doing as I started selling the Contributor. But I would like to tell you that it wasn't that bad. I can't sit here on the radio and tell you just how bad it was, but I can paraphrase it this way. Nobody should ever have to endure the treatment that our friends on the street have to endure by the general public. And I know I can say that because I experienced it myself. I had food thrown in my face. I had a gentleman come up in summertime. He said, "Are you thirsty?" I said, "Yes." And he had a big old McDonald's, the great big McDonald's cup. And he said, "Oh, okay, here." And he poured it on my head and laughed and turned around and walked off. I would like to say that was not common, but it was more common than you could probably imagine.
So at what point did you become comfortable with where you were?
Never.
And that's an awful word to use, but like you've told me that sometimes guys, gals, there are reasons, and trust is a big one, where it's hard to even say like, "Hey, I have something for you, come with me." And a lot of times they won't do it.
Right. I won't say that I ever got comfortable, but I did become accepting of my situation.
Okay, yeah.
But it was still every day. A homeless individual survives hour by hour. When you wake up, the first thing you think about is not what I'm going to have for breakfast, or am I going to have breakfast? That's what you think about. And so that is the only thing that's on your mind right at that moment.
Yeah.
What am I going to eat? How am I going to eat? Am I going to eat? And until you accomplish that, you don't think any further down the road. So it's literally an hour by hour, day by day existence. We're all sitting here now and we're extremely blessed. We can plan something 4, 5, 6 months, a year down the road, or next weekend. You know, we have that, I call it a privilege to do so. They don't. They're literally in survival mode 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And there's very, very little that they have to look forward to other than surviving. And trying to help them move beyond that so we can help them, and we do. You know, we've gotten hundreds off the streets, but it's a process because you've got to get them out of that survival mode to where they can start seeing their future the way we can see their future for them. And that's hard.
So you mentioned, your home was you're on the street for 5 years. Mm-hmm. At some point, I'm guessing you just thought this is how it's going to be for me.
Pretty much, yeah. It was.
So you mentioned the car and the brake lights, and you ran.
Yeah.
What got you off the street?
One gentleman, one person made it his goal in life, literally, to get me off the streets. And the amazing thing is how he did it. The first time I met him, he walked up to me. I was standing in my normal spot selling the Contributor, which was right there by McDonald's. And which, shout out to that McDonald's because
on Broadway?
No, it was Nolensville Road and Old Hickory Boulevard.
Okay.
And shout out to that McDonald's because they treated me amazing. You know, I would walk in to get something cold to drink, and they'd motion me to the end. I didn't have to stand in line. I never paid for anything. They were super. God bless them. But this gentleman walked up to me, and he said, I don't know if you've had breakfast yet, but I got you a sausage and biscuit. And I didn't even look at him at first. And he just stood there, and finally I turned around, and I simply said, thanks. I took the bag, and I turned back around and started selling my paper. I didn't trust people at that point. I had a wall that...
I mean, you've illustrated as to why briefly, but yeah, I mean...
And so he turned around and left. And I thought, okay, well, thank you for leaving.
Yeah.
I mean, I was really that, yeah. But he came back. And he kept coming back. And he kept coming back. He will tell you it took him 6 months to get my last name. It took him over a year to find out anything really about me. But he kept coming back.
You were that guarded.
I was that guarded.
Yeah.
And the amazing thing about what Mike did for me was in the 2 years before I got off the streets that we had this relationship going, I bet Mike didn't spend $500 on me. But he gave me something that money cannot and will not buy, and what every homeless person in the city of Nashville craves is being noticed, not being invisible. And that's what he did for me. Sometimes he would show up and he would just drive by and say, I can't stay, I'm on my way to an appointment, but I'll be back. Sometimes he'd take me to lunch. Sometimes he'd show up with a pizza and sit right there on the curb with me.
Wow.
And eat that pizza. But he gave me the one thing I needed. He, by being the way he was, excuse me, made me feel human again. I wasn't invisible to him. He treated me with dignity and respect. And I had forgotten what that felt like.
Top tier says, be kind to people. Everybody saying in the chat, yes, yes, yes. Steve Young with us, homestreethometn.org. So what led you from that point? You've kind of walked us up to it, and it's trust building. It's being seen. Are you still friends with Mike?
Yes.
What got you off the street?
He did. He made me believe in myself again.
That's the most powerful possible thing.
You know, he got me back into church. And when he took me to church, I went to that church for months, and nobody knew I was homeless because Mike didn't tell him. He always introduced me as my new friend. This is my friend Stephen. The only other person he ever told at that church was the pastor. And he told the pastor, he said, Stephen don't want anybody to know. And he never told anybody. The pastor finally said, I want to have lunch with him. And so Mike said, okay. And we went and had lunch. And he said, Mike's told me a little bit about your story. He said, I would like to hear it from you. So we literally sat in that restaurant for 4 hours. And I laid it all out for him. And he said, people need to hear this. He said, would you consider? And I stopped him right there. I said, no, I would not. I like my anonymity. But that was the beginning. And it was difficult. It wasn't an easy... I ain't going to tell you, and most homeless people aren't going to go skipping along and go, oh, yay, rah, I'm off the streets.
Yeah.
Because that is a world that, yeah, you used to be a part of, but then you no longer were. You were no longer accepted. And that world became your enemy more than your friend. So getting back into it was scary.
Mm-hmm. Do you think on some level God used you for that experience to do what you're doing now?
The pastor that I brought up, he looked at me one day and he said, you know, Stephen, he said, I knew at 12 years of age what I was going to be doing. And he said, my grandfather was a pastor. My father was a pastor. I knew I was going to be a pastor. He said, now, when I got old enough, I went to seminary, I went to school, I got all that. He said, you did too. You went to school for 5 years to be ready for the calling that God was fixing to lay on you. And so, yes, at that moment, I didn't see it.
Right.
But looking back,
that's how God works, man.
It's couldn't have done it without him, that's for sure.
So this experience and your life story led you to homestreethometn.org. That's the website.
And they can give through Venmo, by the way.
Yes.
If they don't want to navigate.
I love doing that because when you put a call out,
yeah.
like, hey, I need something quick, that's what I do.
And it's at Home Street Home.
At Home Street Home on Venmo. So you're able to go into this community with a level of, I've been here, done that.
They're my family.
Still, not everybody wants out.
No, but they're still my family.
They're your family. How many people have you helped, do you think?
Get off the streets? Mm-hmm. We're approaching 800 plus.
Think about that.
Yeah.
Approaching 800.
And you want to know something? I'm still in contact with the very first person we ever got off the street over
right?
10 years ago.
That's all right.
What's that story?
He was he went through some hellacious. Can I say hellacious?
Yeah,
absolutely.
Okay. Moments in his life, and that led him down some dark paths. And when I met him, we spent a lot of time just being with each other. There were times I'd go visit him and sit at his camp, and I'd be there for an hour, and we didn't carry on 5 minutes worth of conversation. But we got to working with him, and it's real simple. I earned his trust. Nothing happens between two individuals if they don't trust each other. And let me tell you what, building trust with the homeless can take years. It took Mike a couple of years. I've been working with some that were on the streets when I was on the streets, and they're still on the streets, which is now 16 years combined. And I'm just now beginning to feel like I'm earning their trust.
Wow.
Just now. But the thing about it is,
you've been there and done that.
Been there and done that.
You know?
Been there and done that.
But still, it takes you time to earn trust.
It's quick story. Gentlemen, 30 years on the streets, I was told by everybody in Nashville, you'll never get him off the streets. He doesn't want off the streets. First time I went to his camp, I didn't get from within 50 feet, and he turned around and he said, I don't know who you are, but you can just get and I'll bleep that out of here. I don't need nothing, don't want nothing. I said, well, my name's Steve. And he said, did you not hear me, boy? And I said, okay. I said, I'm going to leave my business card. I'm going to lay it right here in the dirt. If you need anything, give me a call. I kept going back. I kept going back.
Like Mike did for you.
Yeah. And finally he looked at me and he says, you are either the most stubborn blank or the stupidest blank, but you're not going to give up, are you? I said, no, I am not. And that started our relationship. But here's what I found out. He's from Alabama. He was married. Wife had twin girls. 6 weeks after having those twin girls, he gets served divorce papers. Now, he's in a little town in Alabama. Everybody knows. Everybody else. He started drinking. He became literally the town drunk. And one day, he was staggering down the sidewalk, and around the corner came his ex-wife with those two little girls, and it tore him up. He had enough money to get a bus to Nashville, and that's how he ended up here. And he'd been on the streets for 30 years when I met him. Wow. He got off the streets 9 months later. We got him off the streets. Took me 9 months. Got him into an apartment. He's been off the streets now for 7 years. People give up too quick. Yeah. And I'm not talking about just us and the homeless. I'm talking about people in our daily lives, you know, with everything. We give up too quick.
Stephen Young, Home Street Home, homestreethometn.org. If you want to reach out to him, his email is Stephen with a V homestreethometn@gmail.com. Stephen with a V homestreethometn@gmail.com.
Yep.
Stephen's out there doing the work, man, but he needs y'all's help.
Yes.
So help him out. Follow them on Instagram.
And come on out and go bowling.
The website. And come out and go bowling. You can meet Stephen tonight. Always good to see you, my friend.
Good to see you, buddy.
Yep.
Definitely.
And you too, Ron.
Boom Boom Room coming.
Hey.
End of July.
I'm in.
I got it on the calendar.
And give Miss Dawn my love, okay?
We will definitely do that. That'll be an historic Boom Boom Room right there. That's going to get real.
Yep.
Thank you, Steve.
Yes, sir.
You.
Thank you.
All right, homestreethometn.org. More 3HL as we come back to Kings Bowling in Cool Springs. Broadcasting live from Happens Bowling Bash, benefiting Home Street Home. Raone Foster next, 3HL 104.5.
Loan Pronto, maybe you're maxed out on credit cards, struggling with high interest debt. Well, you can pay it all off in days with Loan Pronto's Rapid Equity Loan. Don't touch your low rate first mortgage. Don't have to have an appraisal. Don't have to wait. Yes, all of that is accurate. The Rapid Equity Loan Program at Loan Pronto is amazing. They actually had a client last month get $300,000 approved out of the equity in their home in under 24 hours, paid off debt, renovated a kitchen, and then on top of it, cut their monthly expenses by $1,800. Loan Pronto offers instant approvals, low rates, and no hard credit pull up front. You can start the entire process on loanpronto.com. or give them a call and let them talk you through it. 615-499-5780, loanpronto.com, 615-499-5780. Loan Pronto, Equal Housing Lender, NMLS 1661781, on approved credit, NMLSconsumeraccess.org.
3HL 104.5 The Zone. Brent Doherty, Ron Slay with you. Big Savage, Raone Foster joins us now. You can hear Ramon and Will every weekday morning, 6 to 10 on 104.5 The Zone. Big Savage, what's up? How are you?
What up, Mayor? What up, Savage?
What's happening? What's happening, Savage?
Man, not a thing but this heat and rent, man. That's all that's going on right now.
It's going to keep going on, Savage.
So what did you do in the 4 or 5 weeks between mini camp and training camp? I know you can't just sit around on the beach, man, because you can't just go in there cold.
Man, man, a lot of running. Tried to see who all I can come get to run with me. Savage came out there with me a few times, man. I did the beach thing for about a week. Yeah, hey, listen, it's only so many, you know how they go with pitchers and also just people that run and are athletes. There's only so many bullets you got.
That's right.
So, yeah,
so many steps.
Contributed.
Yeah.
Yeah, I probably contributed to why Savage is in the position that he's in right now. So my bad, Savage. But we had a ball, though. We had a ball.
Damn ball.
But what did I do, Mayor, man? I wanted to be in the best shape of my life running. I don't care what my size or weight was. I wasn't going to get tired because when it gets hot outside, when it's one-on-ones and the coach is calling you back 3-4 times in a row and you got to go, worst thing you can do is get tired. When the legs go dead, you dead. You feel what I'm saying? And my mindset was, man, I'm going to keep going until they lift me off this field or just straight up cut me because I've gone animal style on somebody. So it was conditioning, Mayor, about 2.5, 3 weeks of heavy weights, man. And then it was taper off to try to get your mind right. But it becomes more of a mental break that you got to have for a little bit. It becomes a little bit more of a get your mind together because it ain't no turning back. And it's also, too, like, man, football sucks. Like, all sports suck, but, like, the physicality every single day. Savage, I'm sure it was like that, too, when y'all went up in the mountains. Whenever y'all were doing training camp with UT and stuff. Like, if you can survive that and keep your sanity, throughout the course of the season, man, you're going to be all right. And like but like getting past that moment of just this crap sucks and we got to do it again tomorrow. Like there's nothing that can get you ready for that other than just doing it or running yourself to death because of it.
And Savage coming in like when you see that year in and year out, how many people would you say come in and you can notice from day one once y'all return from the break and you're like, man, such ain't gonna make it. How many days y'all giving them?
Hey, so that's the stuff you do in training camp too. Like I would love if the Titans went away, but I know budget and accessibility, like people like campuses and stuff play a part in it. But there is nothing better, man, than like sitting on the stoop after practice and you see guys, look at him, dead man walking, y'all.
Yeah,
like we used to call him out. Like he's cut himself. Like, and I used to try to talk to guys too, like, man, listen to me. You're close. Don't quit on yourself. And like, guys don't understand because all you see is the madness that's happening in front of you. You can't look down the line, but Savage easily. I'm talking about within the first 3 days, you see, okay, I'm counting reps. And then especially when you get in the pad and like guys can't understand like, hey, yeah, this is day 5 of 32. We got a few more of these and you're being judged every single day. And on top of that, the dude that just beat you, he gonna want to beat you again tomorrow because you're his pathway into making the team this fall. Like it's such a mind bleeper, okay? In the words of Buck today, he likes to use that time. Like I'm telling y'all, like if y'all got kids, young athletes, or you just in a mess yourself, the mind. I was listening to Steve talk like right there, but like the mind takes you to places that you don't want to be at, but can also help you survive too. Because if you are right-minded, which is a term coaches like to use, like man, the world is your oyster, isn't that the term or the analogy? Like the world can be your oyster, but it starts in a mind first, man. And of course, listen to Steve. There are certain circumstances that have to happen, and you got to be realistic about your approach to doing stuff in life. But dog, it sucks in camp. But Savage, I want to pivot real quick though too, because Blaine said something earlier with Lucas that like last night and tonight are very special nights with the NBA draft.
Yep.
I just want to say this to you. Y'all's process sucks.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's some foolishness.
Hey, the NFL is only one, and there's the UFL and stuff like that right now. But you're telling me it's only 30, and it's only 2 rounds, and there are hundreds of players?
Yeah.
Like, I know there's money overseas, but you don't grow up saying, man, I want to go play overseas somewhere. Like,
no.
I want to play in the NBA. And, like, I know you can't raise the numbers, but, dog, when faced with reality of what it takes to make it to the doggone NBA, 2 rounds, and that's it. Dang.
Yeah. It's crazy, Savage. Like, I think the league and the people that cover it have done a better job as far as making it known like this isn't the end. You know what I'm saying? They more treat it like this is the beginning of your journey. You got to start over. Everybody starts like this. But, man, when I was coming out, that wasn't the case. Like, it was, dog, you don't get drafted. This what you going to do? You know what I'm saying?
It's crushing.
Yeah, it's crushing. Like, now you have it. They have it built in where you have, in a sense, kind of like a farm league with the G League, and you try to figure out, you know what I mean, the two-way contracts where you can play half the year in the G League, then half the year in the NBA. So it's steps. You know what I mean? And if you don't get drafted, like, you can go an undrafted rookie and make it the summer league, and you know, after that, you can sign now. It's much more signings. It's much more ways to stay over. It's more of a process. It was never a process when I was coming out. It was like, man, either you get drafted these 2 rounds, or,
see you later.
Man, you can go to summer league. You better go kill it in summer league.
And the other thing is the only guaranteed contracts are in the first round.
Yeah.
And they do have contracts they offer in the second round now, but they're not. You're not guaranteed anything with the second round pick.
Yeah,
no.
Just so you more so getting those 2-way contracts where you get at least a year under your belt.
That's
to get
better
in the door.
now.
Yeah. Like it's understood that it's a process, and if it wasn't one, well, I'm telling you, man. Like, especially these kids coming from college, getting paid the way they are,
who are already millionaires.
And then it just stops. Man, hey boy, you asked for a lot. You asked for a lot of things right then.
Yeah, I heard y'all talking about that, and I was just like, dang, like, so, like, for somebody to shun a second-round draft pick and then, you win the second round? Like, no, I'm still 1%.
No, you good. You there. You right there. Now, you still got some work to do, but, boy, if you look behind you and see how long that line is behind you, shoot, it's way short in front of you.
Big Savage and Raone Foster. Ramon and Will, weekday mornings from 6 to 10 on 104.5 The Zone. Thanks, Ramon. Always appreciate you every day on The Zone and every Thursday on 3HL.
No doubt about it. Let's go, Chaz, man. Let's see that guy get tonight, man. Let's go.
Boy, getting taken, man. Early, too, man. That first 5 or 6, I believe. I'm going to say first 5 or 6.
Yep. Love you, brother. Appreciate you.
Absolutely.
All right, Sam.
There he is, Ramone Foster. Again, 6 to 10 weekday mornings on 104.5 The Zone. If you haven't checked them out, I don't know why, but do it. And if you know, you know.
Mm-hmm.
When we come back, Johnny the Poet
didn't even know it.
Is in the room with a guitar. He got to meet Slave for the first time. We might hear a song about it next. 3HL 104.5 The Zone.
All right. Every Thursday, we normally do a sports trivia question for you. Thank you for the good folks at UBS Financial Services in Franklin. But today, how about an investment trivia question for you? How much money sits in lost or forgotten 401k retirement accounts? This number is insane. More than 1.7 trillion per a recent report from Capitalize. There are more than 29 million idle accounts with an average unclaimed balance of more than $56,000. Do you need help tracking down one of your old accounts? Contact the Legacy Group at UBS Financial Services in Franklin, Tennessee. If you have $1 million or more to invest and you want to invest with a local team, call financial advisors Jim Candela, Brent Thompson, David Reynolds, or Robert Reynolds at 615-721-4921. See if they can help you achieve your financial goals. That's 615-721-4921. For their client relationship summary disclosures, visit ubs.com/relationship summary. UBS Financial Services Incorporated, member FINRA/SIPC.
1045 The Zone. Appreciate you being with us. So again, broadcasting live from Split Happens Bowling Bash, benefiting Home Street Home at Kings Bowling in Cool Springs. We've had people call Ross wanting to help Steve, and we really appreciate that. HomeStreetHomeTN.org is the website. Find them on Instagram. That's a great way to keep up with these guys. Or you can email Steve directly at Steven with a V, Steven.HomeStreetHomeTN@gmail.com. Steven.HomeStreetHomeTN@gmail.com. Having said all that, it is Throat Punch Thursday. We didn't have a lot of time to devote to it today, unfortunately, but we do have a couple of minutes. And Zeph has been clamoring for Throat Punch.
Zeph has one.
Yes, I have.
Throat Punch Thursday all week. What you got, Zeph?
So I told you guys yesterday it was going to be a Braves-Mets thing, but I'm changing that because baseball purists make me mad, but this just makes me so confused that I get mad at myself.
Yeah.
And it's the NBA draft.
Okay.
And how they do the trades announcements for the NBA draft. Because
I'm with you.
last night, the Grizzlies picked Cedric Howard, I think number 11 overall.
Well, Portland did, and they traded him to Memphis.
No, see, that's what I thought. When I saw it, I thought that the Trailblazers had drafted this kid and then immediately traded him to the Grizzlies. And I was real confused. I was like, why would you draft someone just to trade him? That makes no sense.
Because they tell you who to draft.
For somebody.
It's dumb. It's dumb. It's so stupid.
I'm not arguing.
It's so stupid. It makes me so mad.
There were 10 of those last night.
I want to throat punch the NBA. Just do it normally. Just say the team that drafts them.
I think if you throat punch Adam Silver, he might go back to the planet that he came from.
He does look like an alien, doesn't he?
Josh. Those eyes bugging out of his head, man.
So,
He ain't David Stern.
The NBA, you're confusing trades on draft nights. It doesn't make any sense. Just do it normally. Say who the kid's going. Say the team who the kid's going to, not who is supposed to be in that pick. It doesn't make any sense.
I'm cool with you.
Hey, Lucas Panzinga in the house. He always shows up right at the end of the show.
A great Panda Man has great timing.
All right, what's yours?
He'd like to listen to the show in the car. Then he comes in.
He said, I heard you on the way in. You sounded great. He's talking to Steve. How did we sound, Pan? I don't know, he said.
He was all right.
Listen, I have 4 drink tickets over here, so you need to be nice to me. It sounded great, he said. All right. A lot of people have had that take today. 10 trades. And it's funny. I used to bitch about that, and then last year there weren't any, hardly, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, I don't want it to be none. Everybody know the work they're putting in. They know what they're doing. It's easy to figure it out. Know you drafting. Just go get them. Unless you draft before somebody. That's different.
And that's dumb.
Charles Lanier going to go pretty early tonight, I think.
Yeah, I expect so, man. Good luck to my guy, Chaz.
You've had a front row seat for that development for a long time, and it'll be great to see that dream come true. ESPN.com had him going 37, so that's pretty early in that pick 7 in the second round to Detroit. We'll see how it all plays out, but Thero out there, Kobe Brea out there, SEC got Janai Broom out there, Elijah Martin out there, and Amari Williams from Kentucky out there. And you think he's got a pretty high ceiling?
Yeah, he does. Yep. If he can stay focused, stay engaged. How about that? That's a better word. Stay engaged.
So
got all the talent.
Johnny the Poet calls in every once in a while, and he graces us with his immense songwriting skills. And he actually is, if you hear the end of the show, 3HL, what the hell 3HL? That's Johnny. That's from a Johnny the Poet song, and we end the show with that every day. Now Johnny the Poet is here, and you got to meet. You said you wanted to meet Slay, and you got to meet Slay for the first time.
It was incredible, and I'm not a talker, so what I do is I put it into songs. So, Slay, this one's for you.
All right.
I can't read the words there, Brent.
Oh, yeah.
All right. I've had special days in my life, like the day I met my wife, or the first time I held my baby boy. I've been lucky, yes, it's true. Think of all that I've been through, but there's a day that brings the most joy. And that day's today. I got to meet Slay. Yes, that day's today, 'cause I got to make Slay. Yeah, here we go. Now, Mr. Slay, he was nice to me.
Yeah.
I wished him luck on his knee.
That's true.
I tell you, friends, Slay has got a good soul.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Don't get me wrong, I love Don and Brent. A 3HL is time well spent. But tonight, we're gonna bowl. It's such a great day, 'cause I got to meet Slay.
Hey!
Yes, my favorite day is when I meet Slay.
Yeah! Yay!
Johnny the Poet, ladies and gentlemen. Standing ovation.
My man. I appreciate that, Johnny, man.
I mean, he basically compared
right there, dog.
meeting his wife and meeting his kid.
Hey, listen, man.
Meeting you.
When the spirit moves you, man, you let the spirit do what it do. You ain't got time to be trying to figure out what's going on. You just got to put it down on pen and pad.
I did text my wife to turn on the radio, and now I'm finding a little bit of text regret.
Yeah, I don't know why you told her that.
Unsend.
Yeah, you should have told her wait.
I love you, honey.
You're on the remix, baby. I'm telling you.
Yeah, that's right.
Send that to the wife. You're on the remix.
Well, I mean, he mentioned her.
He did early on.
Yeah, her song's called The Second Best Day of My Life.
Zep trying to dig him a hole.
Yeah. Throw Punch Thursday, taking a new hit.
That is.
Man, we really appreciate you guys listening.
Yeah.
And, we appreciate Ross back at the station producing the show. Eki Bob is here. Bert is here. Panzika's here. Kirby's here. Zeph's here. Everybody's here.
Everybody's here.
Including great bowlers. They say they're great bowlers.
Yep. I ain't even going to say no names again.
It's going to be a fun event. We really appreciate you guys for supporting us. And those of you that have chosen to support Home Street Home.
That's right.
Appreciate you. HomeStreetHomeTN.org. Yeah, Steve Young does have a book out called From Chains to Change. You can check that out on Amazon and where you get your books. Back at it tomorrow. Hitman from 3 until 4. Rhett Bryant 4 to 6. Dan Wetzel will hop on, and we'll do the Friday edition. Appreciate you guys for including us in your day and in your lives. We do not take that for granted, nor do we take that lightly. Have a great night. Good night. God bless.
See ya.
Wouldn't want to be you unless you were going to surgery tomorrow. I guess you probably don't want to be that either, though.
Shout out to Slay. Shout out to Mike. Shout out to Steve Young.